Welcome back. I'm Derrick.
I'm Whitney.
I'm Jack.
And this is Bad Movies, Worst
People. I try to do it with you because I feel like it works.
I think when you do it with him, it works. When you do it like that, it doesn't work.
I know it doesn't. Can we redo it?
That was like someone pretending to, know the words to a song.
He didn't wait for me.
He didn't wait
for her.
All day.
Every day.
All right, so this week is a very special episode for someone who doesn't listen to the podcast. Today is my brother's birthday.
Happy
the day
birthday.
the episode is coming out.
Happy birthday, Todd.
I asked him, I was like, hey, recommend a movie that you like that sucks. And he's like, all the movies I like are good. And I was like, no, they're not.
Doubtful. He's your brother?
He's like, if I like it, then it's probably good. And I'm like, But
I've said that about a lot of women.
he does love anime, so
Same.
I just chose an anime adaptation based on one that he likes. He said that it sucks. I'd have to mostly agree.
Mostly.
It has like a 1.5. Did I say what it was? We're doing Death Note from 2017, Netflix original film based on somebody else's property. So I don't know how original it is. It's based on an anime, which is based on a manga.
Mangas have always heard
A
it
backwards
said.
book.
Yep, backwards comic book. You betcha.
Directed by Adam Wingard. He directed a really awesome movie called The Guest. I was just telling you about with Dan Stevens from Legion. Remember, we watched that movie.
Yes.
And you gave it a thumbs up, or a couple thumbs up, actually.
All the thumbs up. At least 2.5.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
2 thumbs and a chub.
That's exactly where my brain went right now. How'd you give it 2.5? Oh, I know where he's going with this
Well,
one.
Dan Stevens is pretty sexy. So.
Yeah, he is. He can get me to a 3.
I was born with an extra thumb, so I totally could have
Yeah,
given it a 3.
We didn't have any bones. So
No, it had bones.
It'd still be a half.
It didn't.
Closer to a nubbin.
It didn't have a tendon, so it had the bone, it had the nail, it had everything. It was just a stiff thumb.
So it was a constant thumbs up.
Yes, it was a constant
like a
thumbs
dying
up.
robot. Just
It was
falling
like-
into
Gave
the
with a
lava.
stiff thumb on it.
Yeah, so he directed The Guest. He directed Godzilla vs. Kong, which I liked.
That's the one that you said that
Yeah.
I knew. That I enjoyed as well. You can not like it all you want. It's a good movie.
I mean, I like Godzilla movies, the bad ones too. Like all the
Yeah.
old Japanese ones, like all the way back to the original, which is a great movie.
Well, but if you like it, it must be good.
Right, exactly. I like it, so it's good, and everybody else is wrong.
Exactly.
And it's starring this kid, Nat Wolff, who I didn't really know. Apparently, he's from
Wish
a
I
Disney
didn't.
thing.
He looks like a
He was
Disney
a
guy.
Disney. I'm not making this up. It was the Naked Brothers band.
Yes.
Okay, I was like, Disney had a thing called the Naked Brothers. Probably not a great move.
Yeah, not a good move.
But the show actually followed Nat Wolff and Adam Wolff or whatever, so it was him. It was they were trying to make a Jonas Brothers, but that
Yes.
didn't work, and then the Jonas Brothers worked later because this was like early 2000s. So that's a thing, I guess. Yeah. So LaKeith Stanfield is also in this movie. He plays L. So I mean, he was in Knives Out. He's a lieutenant that hangs out with fucking James Bond.
A lieutenant?
Daniel Craig.
Yes, Daniel Craig.
There's a hole in the donut. You see.
I love that movie.
Hey,
he
Daniel
was
Craig
also
with a southern accent. I'm in, dude.
he's also on Atlanta, but I finally figured it out. He was in Get Out. He's Andre.
Oh, yes.
The first guy that gets killed.
Oh, okay.
He's got that same kind of robotic acting because he's like the white people took over his body and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like this where he acts like you're like, is he an alien? What's going
Yeah.
on? Something's wrong with this guy.
He's just like perpetually
I thought
a
he
child.
was a robot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that made
Cyborg
as soon as I
blend.
saw that, I was like, oh, that makes so much sense. And I knew it was bothering me because I just watched Get Out like 2 months ago, not for the first time. And I was like, why do I know this fucking guy?
Yeah.
I definitely said he gives off like a Mos Def vibe.
Well, and in your defense,
Yeah.
not to ignore that because he does, but in your defense, he's got a turtleneck over his face half
Most
the
of the
movie.
show, yeah.
So, I mean, you're working with...
Well, and that's
Eyes.
the thing, and that's what was really bothering me because I was like, I recognize him based purely on his eyes.
Yeah. Oh, you can get lost in those things.
Yes, you can. His candy eating ass.
Whoa.
What?
The
I
guy.
thought you said my
you were
dog.
talking about the dog. Is Candy eating ass? I'm like, I don't...
I said
If it's
his
her own
candy
baby.
eating ass.
She's looking for something to eat, but I don't think it's ass. This movie is based on anime, like I said. My brother likes the anime. He said the movie sucks. I told him, I was like, I want one that sucks. Not one that's just bad because it's not like your anime.
Yeah.
I want one that actually sucks.
Because I have never seen the anime.
Me neither.
So
I
aware
know
of its
of
presence.
We did have Zoe try and watch it with us.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she was supposed to be our QC.
She does love the anime.
And she absolutely hated it.
So Zoe, speaking to the microphone, what did you think of Death Note?
It was terrible.
Thank you, Zoe.
She's got a voice for radio.
In a word, terrible. I got a face for radio.
What did she say out there? It was quite different.
Yeah, no, I was like, what? How did it compare to the show or something like the anime? It's like, it was quite different. Okay, thanks.
Dynamite dropping money.
She was supposed to be our QC, but she put in her headphones and walked away, which I guess is QC.
Yeah, she's like, and fuck this movie.
Asked and answered.
So we're introduced to the main character, Light. Is his name. We don't know that yet, but his name is Light.
Light Turner.
I'm sure it sounds great in Japanese. It is so fucking stupid. It's an American name.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, again, it's based on anime. They all have crazy fucking names.
Yeah.
I mean, do you know anybody named Vash
Yeah.
in real life?
No.
I'm like, Vag? Yes.
So he's sitting on the bleachers. Oh, I should have looked up what the songs are in this movie. The
there was
songs in
Air
this movie
Supply?
don't match anything that's happening,
No.
including the opening
Chicago.
song.
It's a really good soundtrack for a different,
different
movie.
movie.
Yeah. There's fucking Take My Breath Away. I don't know.
And then, like I said, there
No,
was a
keep
Chicago
going.
song.
That's all I got.
Air Supply. God, what was that first one?
I don't know. I don't because at the beginning I didn't notice how bad the music cues were going to be.
Yeah.
But it's some stupid song. And he's sitting in the rain.
The guy did talk about having a wake up morning wrestling
Yes.
in the
Oh,
song.
Oh,
that's
yeah,
right.
that
It's
song
not
was-
relevant to the movie at all.
No.
I just really enjoy a good morning wake up wrestle.
Yeah, the
I-
song's about wake up wrestles.
I do remember absolutely loving the intro song, though.
Yeah.
Because it was such a weird offbeat.
Oh, we get to see this edgy, the main cheerleader chick. She's so edgy.
Smoking.
Yeah.
She's got her arms crossed,
Yeah.
cigarette hanging out her mouth.
They like lift her to do the triangle thing or whatever,
then
and she's just like, arms
rump.
crossed. This is so stupid. Like blows the bangs out of her face.
Yeah.
Like, come
So
on.
fucking disenchanted.
Everything's in slow motion.
And it's like the beginning of Donnie Darko.
Can't you tell I'm full of angst?
Yes, it 100% is.
Yeah, except for the beginning of Donnie Darko is way cooler. And
And
then
then-
Donnie Darko comes after.
And light, and it's all sunny outside, and then light is just being all meh,
Well,
emo.
he's selling tests or homework.
Yeah.
So
Homework.
there's kids coming over paying him, and he gives them papers. So you know that he's a bad kid too. Her name's Mia, by the way.
Yep.
She was in Once Upon a Time. The girl's name is Margaret Qualley. She was Pussycat in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. So she's the one. I don't know if you remember. Did you ever see that?
Never finished it.
Okay.
Quitter.
She's the one that leads Brad Pitt to the fucking compound with all the
Oh.
the Manson compound out
Okay.
there. Yeah. That's her. She's smoking cigarettes while she's cheering because they allow you to do that in high school.
Fucking edgelord, man.
And then out of nowhere, a burst of thunder and wind.
Thunderbolt of lightning.
Very, very frightening.
Death Note.
Book falls from the sky into his lap, basically.
Well, no, it's right next to him.
I said basically. So the Death Notebook note falls from the sky.
Yeah.
Death Notebook. I can
Death.
talk.
Yes, it says Death Note on it. It's a cool, like old school leather bound notebook.
Smells of rich mahogany.
Yes.
And then it starts pouring rain.
So he takes it in and he's in detention. No, okay, we didn't get there yet. I'm an idiot. So he's walking back to the school and there's some kid named Kenny beating up on some other kid. Like they're picking on this kid. And then Mia is there too. And she's like trying to beg him to stop.
These guys look like professional bullies.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They have been doing this for a while. They've been
Yeah.
living off your lunch money and mine.
I mean,
They don't gender exclude either.
No.
you see the kid twice and both times he's beating up on somebody.
Yeah.
A girl.
Yeah.
He might even have his hat backwards with a tuft of his hair going through the front of it, just
Like-
enough to let you know
Just
he's a
enough.
bully.
Just like the girl from Under Siege. Miss
Yeah.
July.
Oh, how do you know that she's spunky? Tuft of hair. He's a spunky bully.
And Mia like shoves or she's like, hey, get away from that kid or whatever, and shoves him, and he just fucking shoves her back, and that's when Light comes up because he's got to be the white knight, you know.
Yeah.
He wasn't gonna say anything
Gotta
when
be
this,
the light knight.
he wasn't gonna say anything when the kid was getting beat up. But once you shove the girl he's got a crush on.
I mean, in fairness, she's like 80 pounds. So I mean, yeah.
But also, I mean, I'm not saying it's wrong, but I was like, that's when he decided to jump in, not when the other kid. He's like, that kid's fine.
Well, he's not trying to fuck the other guy.
You don't know that.
It's implied.
Yeah, he's got that classic like movie thing where like the kid wants to stand up to the bully, so he's just like he's trying to act tough.
I'm gonna use my wits, to outsmart you,
which always ends in that kid getting beat up.
Always.
Like we just saw it in the I just saw it in the Fablemans when I went and watched that. Say he's like talk shit, get hit. But
I kind of like it though, because like, dude, you've been held back. And you're 18, so if you beat me up, it's going to be child abuse. And like, maybe for a second you think it's going to work.
By the way, you got held back twice.
Yeah. Twice.
Oh, you think that's funny?
I think it's sad.
Yeah. You can't hit me because it's child abuse. Knockout.
And then he just rocks this kid. Like, I'm thinking a bit concussed when he comes to.
Just a little.
Yeah, it was a hard one. And then some teacher comes along and finds him and finds all the homework, and so he gets in trouble.
Does not care about his well-being.
No.
Just cares
At all.
that you're fucking cheating.
The principal, when he's getting talked to, is even like, he's like, do you care about me? I have ice pack on my face. Do you even give a shit? And the guy's like, I don't care that your mom died.
Yeah.
Like, you're in trouble. Like,
Yeah.
Some people would give you leniency because your mom died horribly, but
Rough.
I won't.
Fucking rough, dude.
Dude, what an administrator.
What high school is this? Fucking deep Texas?
No. Nope, we are in Seattle.
Oh, the Japan of America.
I guess he's just tired of all those fucking liberals in his town, and he's like, I don't care about your feelings.
Oh, the mom was a hippie.
Yeah,
Yes.
they do mention that.
Fucking dirty hippie. I bet the principal was in on it.
Ooh. Probably was.
Whatever it was.
He couldn't get her, so
And Light
put her
is-
name in the book.
Light's sleeping in detention after this because he gets detention for stealing tests. I
Yeah.
feel like you'd get kicked out of school.
I mean, it's high school. In college, yeah, you're fucking done. They're having no part of that. In high school, are we doing public school?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was public.
Just
They don't
They
care.
don't care that
Just
much.
give this kid detention and move him through the system, please. We need a gas station
I
attendant.
do love when the teacher wakes him up because he's sleeping, and she slams a book down and he sits up and he's like, I wasn't asleep, I was a tree or a plant.
or something.
And she leaves and like leaves him alone because that's a great way to do detention. I mean, we saw it in the Breakfast Club; it worked out for them.
I
so.
gotta imagine if you're a teacher, this has got to be like a highlight: is waking a little fucking snot-nosed kid up like this. Like, ooh, Light's asleep again. I hate him and his name.
Weren't you a
Heavy
teacher?
book. I'm not gonna comment on this. Allegedly, we never woke up any children's is this way.
Okay.
No, you don't traumatize kids. You traumatize high school kids.
True. You're
They're
right.
not kids
You're
anymore.
right.
The little kids are innocent right now.
You know what I
they're little
remember?
shits in the making.
You know what I remember about detention?
Also, you put them to sleep.
It's true.
So at my school, detention was in the basement, which is pretty cool. And this guy, Bobby
That
Green,
is very cool.
Bobby Green, I know his whole name because he knew every student in the school's full name and would say it to them every time they walked past him. It was really
Man.
impressive.
Definitely
Hello, Derrick
making-
Affle.
Hey.
No.
Nah, it's fine. But like, and he said I went back to the school like 3 years later because there was something going. Oh, my brother was there and I went to go pick him up or something was going on. And I was pulling in and he looked at me for like 10 seconds, like a going through a catalog in his head and just goes, Derrick Affle. And I was like, that's terrifying, Bobby.
Also, he's autistic.
Well, he was awesome. But anyway, he was already.
Autistic people are awesome.
He was the detention guy, and I remember one day we were down there, and my friend Johnny had his like backpack sitting up in front of him, and he's sitting there talking to Bobby, and behind the backpack, he's just like breaking up weed and rolling joints while making eye contact with Bobby.
I loved those people in high school. I couldn't be that cool. I was still a scared little recovering Catholic kid. But I remember my first day of high school seeing a drug deal and I was like, oh my God, these guys are so cool. They're selling weed in the fucking library. Turns out that's where you sell drugs when you get older. It's
I will mention, by the way,
libraries.
this only worked because this was, in the early 2000s, and this is shit weed.
Yeah, oh, you're not busting up some good skunk these days,
No.
man. Everyone's going to know.
Also, I never got detention in high school. I got ICE. In school suspension, which was in the basement.
I was like, you got deported?
No, it's.
I thought they just
if
had
you
like
read
hold
it-
ice for 20 minutes. Like, here's your punishment. You put them
They
out.
just put your hands in an ice bucket until you can't feel
Don't
them.
ice me, bro.
No,
Shit stings.
They called it ICE, but it's ISS. So I'm like, is
Is how do we get that to be ISIS?
Yeah, I was like, they
In
sent you to
school
ISIS?
suspension.
In school in
Immediately
suspension.
Stupid.
he's
I
in
was a
there,
good kid.
He's in there reading the rule book. I mean, the death book note, whatever.
Yeah.
The Death Note book.
But the rules in the death notebook.
So many
and-
rules.
So many rules.
So many rules.
And like he's what he hears some. Oh no! Everything starts blowing around him.
Yeah.
Well, the rules are like you write a name in the book, and
Picture their face.
and then they'll die.
And how they die.
Yeah. Well, that Ryuk tells him that later.
We
I'm
haven't
sure that's
even-
in the rules.
We haven't even
Yeah.
There
met
are
Ryuk.
There are at least 28 rules
But we're about to.
that they mention. I feel like I did see Rule 60 written down at some point too. There's a lot of rules.
Yeah, there was
Yeah.
like, I want to say 95 was one of the numbers also. But the lights turn off. He
Yeah.
hears a jar and then fall. And
Oh,
then
that's right,
walking
he lost
over
his
marbles.
marbles.
He
Yes.
lost his marbles.
Yes.
Which I thought, like, I don't know if they did it on purpose, but I'm like, is this a cute little way of saying, like, maybe he's going crazy?
Oh, fan theory. He died when he got punched, and everything was a dream.
This is
Oh.
a Jacob's Ladder situation.
There we go.
This is a complete
Isn't that
Jacob's Ladder.
Never mind. I was thinking of
That's-
something else.
That's every fan theory.
No,
by the
what
way.
were you thinking about?
A Jacob's ladder is a piercing on the bottom of your dick.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. With the well, you have
The
to have
barbells.
multiple.
And that's exactly what Derrick was talking about. This whole movie is a series of dick piercings. There's no way you took that out of context.
That's like every fan theory on the internet. It's like this
Yeah.
happened, and then he was dead the whole time.
So the reference I'm making, by the way, is I believe it's Tim Robbins' movie. Spoiler for
That sounds
Jacob's
right.
Ladder right now.
1995, I think.
It's
so you're
it's a
fine.
movie about him going to rehab, like physical therapy kind of
Uh-huh.
thing. And it turns out he was dead at the very beginning of the movie. This
Oh.
is him like passing on.
It's kind of like Brain Dead.
It's well, spoilers for Brain Dead.
We already did
Yeah,
it.
we already spoiled the shit out of that.
What if they're a new listener?
You should always start from the beginning.
All right, now you tell me.
Yeah, you meet completionist.
Yeah.
You're talking about episodes of other podcasts. Like you're like, hey, have you heard this one? I'm like, no, that's way later. I'm only on episode 300. They're on episode 700. I got to catch up, man.
You can be a completionist and be all over the place. It's called ADD.
You're
So-
not wrong.
This creature appears. The creature's called Ryuk. It looks like it's like a really tall dude with like porcupine stuff on
Shoulders,
him.
yeah.
Porcupine
I
shoulder
think I like
pads.
the look.
Yeah,
I can't tell.
They keep him out of focus. They keep him in shadow almost completely.
Yeah.
Which
And
I love.
I think it's partially aesthetic and like a directional choice, and I think it's partially because it looks like shit.
Yeah.
It's a very Jaws choice probably, where it's like, hey, let's just show it less.
You could have
Yeah.
made him look more menacing though in those shadows. I'm not
Exactly,
I don't
the
think I'm
glowing
complaining
eyes.
about his look, but yeah, give me like some just harder features when he is in these shadows.
The more they show him, like later on when you see his face a little more,
It
the
looks
less
weird.
good it looks.
Yeah.
The mouth
Yeah.
moves all like shitty and everything. So it is a combination, by the way. They showed in like the reel at the end, the blooper reel at the end of this horror movie.
The behind the
this
scenes
horror
reel.
movie has a blooper reel to a damn near wacky soundtrack.
Yes.
They show though
It's
it's
the
like
air
it's a combination.
That's Air Supply for sure.
It's a combination of the actor who's playing him, like the person in the suit, a guy named Jason Lyles. Like he's in like a whole suit.
It's a practical
and he's
suit.
got like little red like glasses on with little red dots on them and stuff, so
Yeah.
they know where to look. But then also they had mocap stuff of Willem Dafoe's face.
Okay.
who
This is the first you've mentioned that Willem Dafoe's
yeah.
in
No,
this
I was just
movie.
about to say that Willem Dafoe is the voice of Ryuk.
And you immediately hear it in just his little laugh.
Yeah.
Yeah. 100%. You're like, that's the Green Goblin.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm expecting him to say Peter.
Yeah, those weren't marbles; they were little tiny goblin bombs.
Yeah.
this
Ooh,
kid's
little
dead.
pumpkin bombs. You're
Yeah,
fucked. man.
exactly. So
die.
Light sees this fucking creepy monster thing and screeches like a little girl.
Oh my God. Fantastic
Respect
scream.
to the screech though,
Yeah.
because that's how I'm acting
Yeah.
in this situation.
It's hilarious.
Very believable.
And yes, and realistic. He backs up through like a shelf and knocks it over, and then like tries to run to the door. He can't open it. He's just like,
Goes to hide under a desk, and then poof, the desk gets slid away, and he's just feetled up.
I like
and
this moment. I think it's fun.
Yeah.
It's
I'm in
mix
it.
of some practical
Yeah.
shit. You know,
I am
there's
in it.
And by the way, this kid was gonna get in trouble for sleeping. And this room is completely destroyed.
yeah.
when
Ryuk leaves and
leaves.
it's just an inside twister.
He's like the worst cat in the hat.
Yes.
He doesn't even offer to.
There's
clean
no
up.
help at all.
He's like,
Well, I think the
"Ah."
worst cat in the hat was Mike Myers.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh.
This is a way better cat in the hat. At least he murders people.
I'd rather watch this again.
Yeah, I don't even want to say like wait for that one. I don't want to watch that
No.
movie. I'm never doing it.
Unless Patrick really pisses you off.
Yeah.
It's like,
I don't know
"All
if
right,
I'll
dude."
ever do a Mike Myers movie. I don't like. He was funny when I was a kid. He's so annoying now.
When did it stop? I know we're getting off track,
Wayne's
but
World?
really, so I Married an
Wayne's
Axe
World
Murder
2,
is not
maybe?
in it.
Wasn't that before Wayne's World 2?
Maybe before 2. Not
I was
Yeah.
like, Wayne's World
1.
2, maybe. But I don't know. I mean, like, I liked Austin Powers when I was young and stuff, but, like,
It's
I'm
not.
watching it older.
It
not a
doesn't.
rewatch for
No.
Yeah, I still like them. Those movies, not
I will
him.
quote them. A Bong and a Prince.
I think he just fell way off. Love Guru, and then that Netflix, that stupid Netflix.
I didn't even watch it.
Penta,
Yeah.
boring, fucking boring.
Pentavre or whatever.
Yeah, the
I saw it. I
Pentavre.
was like, oh, this could be interesting. And I hit trailer, and it started with Mike Myers doing some fucking stupid fat bastard voice or something. And I was like, no.
The movie is just all really bad, not funny dick jokes like
Oh.
the entire time.
Speaking of Mike Myers, you want to hear something crazy that would have changed my entire life?
What's
Not really. So
He's
Shrek.
your father.
Shrek
Chris Farley.
was supposed to be Chris Farley.
There's audio of it.
Not only was it, yes, he recorded the whole movie,
Oh, okay. I didn't know
He
he did
finished
that much.
it.
Wow.
but
So why
then they had Mike Myers replace him, presumably so they could make sequels. I
That's
don't
fair.
know.
That's fair.
Now, I don't know if that would have made Shrek less dumb, but I would have liked it more.
I think it would have made it darker.
Yeah, and that's kind of what it needed.
Well, imagine if Shrek
I
wasn't
like
a
Shrek.
if Shrek wasn't just fat bastard, but he was the guy living in a van down by the river. Like, that's fucking awesome.
What's that? Foley? Matt Foley? I believe is that character.
Was it? I didn't even know he had a name.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. As motivational speaker. Matt Foley.
Now, I have a question.
What?
is your favorite Willem Dafoe movie?
I live in a swamp
Lighthouse.
down by the river.
Oh my God, The Lighthouse was really good.
He did a lot of good movies, but once I saw The Lighthouse, I was like, wow.
I don't know if
Willem
it's a
Dafoe.
Willem Dafoe movie, but
Well,
Life
it-
Aquatic.
Okay.
Oh, he's great in Life Aquatic.
I
Klaus.
Who
absolutely
isn't?
love his character in the first Boondock Saints.
Ooh. Oh, I'm changing mine.
Yeah.
Wild at Heart.
Ooh, okay.
Him, Nicolas Cage, and
gotta
Laura
love
Dern.
Nick
He plays
Cage.
Bobby Peru. Yes.
I don't think I've
Ooh,
seen
you
that one.
gotta
I
love
know
Nick
of it,
Cage.
but I don't think I've seen it.
Very, very good.
But have you seen The Lighthouse? It's him and
Oh, it's insane.
Sparkle
He's
Vampire.
insane.
Yeah.
I don't-
Yeah, Robert
Robert
Pattinson?
Batman redeemed himself.
I think he's redeemed himself a bunch of times over. I still,
Yeah.
when I can't remember his name, I'm going to say Sparkle Boy or Sparkle
Yeah.
Vampire.
Yeah. And I'll know who you mean every time you say it.
Well, because I can't say Batman. You can be like, which one? I
Yeah.
guess I could say the Batman.
No, I still
No,
have a question.
still.
You're like, wait, you mean the Batman as in Michael Keaton?
Are you talking about like Bruce Wayne?
Emo Batman. Sparkle Batman.
Sparkle Batman. Now
So-
he's just Sparkle Lighthouse.
So anyway, Sparkle Lighthouse. There's a mermaid in it. Anyway,
I mean, I think that's a My Little Pony name.
It should be.
Sparkle Lighthouse.
It's a brony.
so Ryuk explains that you can write down how the person's going to die too.
Oh, yeah.
So he's like, hey, test it out. Well, why don't you look out the window? And Kenny's out there shoving Mia
Professional
around.
fucking bullies.
Yeah. Kenny and other friend are out there shoving Mia around.
It's not Mia. It's some other chick.
It's not
Yeah,
Mia?
it's
with
not
boobs.
her.
Oh, okay.
No, it was
thought
curly
it was
hair,
Mia.
kind of like some little ginger shit.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I
We
just
hate
assumed there was
gingers.
only one female character with a speaking line in this movie.
Yep.
Because Mia's the only person who talks. That's woman.
I mean, what do you expect
There was
from
a teacher.
a show that had zero non-white people except for Elle? We're talking about a Japanese adaptation.
Yeah, and this
Oh, you do have the Watari.
Watari. And this Nat kid in his IMDb photo, at least, doesn't look white per se.
Well, I think they
but-
made him look white in this fucking movie.
Well,
though.
you add the bleached tips and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, but it's definitely a whitewash situation.
Yep.
Yeah,
There are no
100%.
Japanese people in this. It involves like a Japanese death god, but it takes place in the United States, which kind of just
Seattle.
makes him into like a, I don't know, supernatural Columbine.
Yeah.
So yeah, he writes down Kenny's name.
It's a trench coat Godfia.
Don't forget to say how he dies.
Yeah, he writes down Kenny Doyle decapitation, and he's like, "Oh, that's pretty good for an amateur." So watch
Bad
this,
for an amateur.
and then there you go.
That was really good.
Oh, thank you. I lost it.
So Final Destination happens outside. It's like this kid's bouncing a basketball. This lady's grocery bag rips. The basketball bounces off some groceries. It makes a car crash.
It's a Goldberg device
Yeah.
of death, and
Yeah.
I am here for it.
100%
I mean,
here for
this
it.
is why I watched Final Destination. People are like, but it gets stupid. I was like,
Yeah,
do
it
people
does.
keep dying?
Yeah, it does. But that's your fault for following the plot of a Final Destination
Right,
movie
exactly.
after number one.
I bet you they follow the plot in a porn also.
Well, that's because those are rich with character development.
Do you know what the plot of every Final Destination movie is? Watch the first first one.
You're good
And
after
that's
that,
it.
yeah.
That's the same plot.
100%.
You could plug. I think you can plug into any of those movies and like I'm caught up.
Yeah.
Like I don't need to go
I'm
back.
just here to watch people die.
Oh, Derek, what happened in 3? I didn't see it. Like can you catch
7
me
people
up?
died.
I
People
went-
died.
I went and saw 3, I think it was in the theaters, and with a friend of mine, and there was us and these 2 old ladies, and that was it. We were just rolling in the aisles laughing at these people dying. And when we were leaving, these old ladies went and complained. I worked at the theater at the time too. They went and complained to the management that we were laughing at the theater in the theater. And one of the managers came to me and was like, "You can't do that. Death is not funny." And I was like, "I don't know. Have you seen that movie?"
I mean, you enjoyed the movie because you knew what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like,
There
well, those
for
people
that.
were paying to be there, and you weren't. So if they don't like it, you have to leave. I was like, well, then they should have said something while I was watching the
You
movie's
pay
over.
taxes, allegedly.
I was like, what do you mean I'm not paying to be here? I get paid $5.15 an hour.
Yep.
You know a movie costs more than that. I have to work for 3 hours before I can buy a movie.
So anyway, yeah, there's these 2 cars crash. A ladder falls off this like contractor's
it
truck.
flies off,
Yeah,
doesn't
it
it?
flies off. It cuts this dude's head in half.
By the jaw.
And the big credit I will give this movie, aside from Willem Dafoe being awesome, is when they kill people, it's awesome.
There's
These
not
kills-
enough Willem Dafoe though. Just
No.
a quick, you're 100% right on the kills. Willem Dafoe, there's a point in this movie we kind of, at least myself, forgot that he was in till he came back.
Yeah.
He was
Oh,
gone
shit.
for like 30 minutes. I mean, it's like a 97-minute movie, and he's in 20 minutes.
It didn't feel it.
Well, Willem
by the way.
Dafoe
It
himself
felt longer.
It did feel
Yeah.
longer.
Willem
Well,
Dafoe's-
also we had that.
Well,
Even beyond that.
But Willem Dafoe's voice is probably in 12 minutes of the movie.
Yeah.
Ryuk as a character is probably in about 20 minutes of the movie.
Easy day work for Willie D.
Yeah. Yeah, he literally did he did the mocap, like I said, but he probably did all that in a day.
Yep.
He's just like, let me sit here and talk, man.
Give me a vodka tonic.
Oh, so anyways, there's good gore in this movie at least.
Yes. Oh,
It
I
doesn't-
love it.
I mean, it's got to be, obviously it's CG, but it's pretty good CG.
And
And they know
it's
when to
not,
cut
though,
away.
Yeah,
Yeah.
spot on. When it's not, they cut away. It's a quick cut. So I mean, if you're really trying to look, you're gonna see some shit. But if you're just watching,
Yeah.
I also came into this expecting to have a really bad time with this movie.
Yeah.
And whether it was good or not, it was less bad than I thought.
I had 0 expectations
Well, good for you.
because I didn't even know the anime.
Look at
Well,
you,
you know,
coming all
halfway-
level-headed.
Halfway through this movie, I was like, this movie's kind of good.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
but then it dropped off
But
right
then
when
it
you
just
thought
kept
that.
going.
Because at the same time, probably I'm like, man, I'm enjoying this.
This movie's kind
I
of good.
shouldn't have said anything.
You-
checked the
so
time.
you guys ruined it. You jinxed it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And I go, this movie's kind of good. Check the time. Oh, there's fucking 53 minutes left. Never mind. All right, so we meet Shea Wiggum, Light's dad. The actor's name is Shea Wiggum. The character's name is Jack
Detective
Turner.
Turner.
So, yeah, something Turner.
It's barely spoken.
Yeah, they haven't
It's-
said Light Turner's last name until like halfway through the movie.
Yeah.
So at this point, you meet Dad. Mm-hmm. He's played by Shea Wiggum.
Yeah,
Papa Wiggum. Like I said, great name because he's a cop. He's in Boardwalk Empire.
As
He's
a
on
co-op.
Agent Carter. as
He's also a cop.
As a co-op.
I wrote something down here. Yeah, he's in 3 or 4 of the Fast and Furious movies as a cop.
Oh,
he's
man.
in Joker as a cop.
As a co-op.
He's always a cop. Always. Maybe a sniper.
Yeah.
But his last name is
ex-co-op.
Wiggum, and he's a cop, which is great. So I just wrote him
Oh,
down.
I just got what you were saying.
So I just wrote down Officer Wiggum in all my notes.
Police Chief Wiggum, yeah.
So
Now it all makes sense to me. Mm-hmm. I guess I need to drink more.
There's jokes from like hours ago you didn't get.
Nope. Not even a little bit. At least I didn't fake a laugh for it, though.
Oh, I would have been hurt. I would have known too.
the dad is a total dick, though. Like everything Light says, he's like, "Yeah, well, you're a fucking little piece of shit." And like
Yeah.
Light says, he says something. He's like, "You wouldn't understand," and he's like, "Why? Because I'm dumb or because you're smart?" I'm like, "Well, maybe both."
Yeah, it could be both.
He's like, "No, what he's saying
Dude, you
is
can
you
be
wouldn't."
dumb while your son is smart.
What he's saying is you wouldn't understand. I have a death god in a book in my backpack.
How do I explain this to you? I put somebody's name in a book, how I want them to die, and then it happens.
So I'm not upset that he's dead and I saw it happen.
Yeah.
So
Oh, and this kid takes to death right away very
Yeah,
well. Like,
well,
I would
yeah.
be traumatized.
we find out that Light's mom died from. We already knew she died, but we find out she died because some guy hit her with a car, and then like also beat the shit out of his girlfriend, and he went to jail. But he got out because he's rich.
Yeah.
He
Do you
bought his
think
way out
that
of jail.
somebody put his mom's name in the death book prior and that's why she's fucking dead?
I mean, this movie's not going to talk about that. The anime might, the manga might.
Yeah,
This
like-
movie's, no.
in the 19 hours of the anime, there was probably more than this one terrible storyline.
Yeah.
So I feel like they just took like the overarching storyline from one segment and was
I feel like this
I
guy's
feel like that would
definitely-
happen though.
I feel like this guy's definitely mob though.
well, there are
100%.
Japanese. There are
He's got a
Japanese
heavy
movies.
Italian name.
Oh well, he's definitely on the take.
Yeah.
I mean, you saw Boardwalk Empire.
Yeah, a lot.
There are Japanese movies based on this too, which are much higher rated in Letterboxd. And I showed you the CG. The monster Ryuk looks awful. It looks like some CG from like a Disney show from 1999. Mm-hmm. But it's much better rated, and people are even like, people in the reviews are like, even with this terrible like CG, this is what we wanted to see. This is the right story. Also, it's Japanese, so the characters are Japanese, and there's like 4 or 5 movies. So I feel like they're doing the whole
Okay.
story.
That's cool.
I won't.
It's
watch
probably more
it, though.
fleshed out than anything that's got 3 writers in a movie.
Yeah, 3 screenwriters is always a bad sign. So the book says, don't trust Ryuk. He's not your pet. He's not your friend. And
By the way, looking at this guy, didn't think either of those things.
Yeah.
When this evil death god shows up, I wasn't like, man, I bet I can keep him as a pet. Do you think he needs like water or what's this guy eat? Turns out
he looks
apples.
like the Green Goblin and Sonic had a baby.
100%.
And then stuck their finger into a light switch.
It's actual quills though,
Yeah.
which
Hedgehogs have they don't. That's porcupines.
when he handed him the pen, I really wish that he had like broken off a quill instead of like click click.
Yeah, it was.
Hey, you know what? This ancient death god carries around clicky tops.
It's
he
a
likes them better.
ballpoint clicky top.
He likes them better than twisty bottoms.
Oh, twisty! No one likes twisty bottoms except Dr.
Who
Cox.
fucking likes
and he
Twisty
didn't even like
Bottoms?
them.
Scrubs reference again.
I get it.
It's hard not to.
I'm not Patrick.
A quill would have been great. Though.
Yeah, and he's like, just dip it in your own blood and write the name. Like,
Oh, you could have.
I need a pen. He pulls the quill off and stabs him with it, and then hands it to him. That would be
stab
awesome.
your own hand,
Yes.
stab your own hand or something.
100%.
Like lean into the horror more, like a little bit more.
Yeah.
I feel like
What's
that's
the rating on this, by the way?
Netflix.
Netflix
Netflix.
rated. Netflix rated.
There wasn't a lot of cussing.
No, but there's a lot of blood, so I'm wondering if this is R.
Not a lot of blood.
Each kill is pretty bloody. I mean, that
TV,
guy.
But then
TVMA.
Okay.
It's mature
So
audience,
R.
so
Yeah.
Because it's Netflix, so they don't have like the MPAA ratings. I guess that makes sense. Because it's not like some of the ones that have gone to theaters recently that are Netflix. You know, they didn't think this was going to win an Oscar, so they didn't put it in theaters for a week, like All Quiet on the Western Front. Like,
Really? No Oscar consideration for this, huh?
I don't think so.
Well, maybe a Giuseppe.
ooh.
Perhaps
I don't know, though.
Giuseppe for best gore.
I don't know. I was going to say, I don't know anybody in this movie who's getting a Giuseppe from me.
I don't know. Elva's pretty good.
All right, he's good. He's good. We'll get there.
I do like his character.
Yeah.
Especially when we discover what his character is about.
All right. So he's autistic Batman.
I love it. Spoiler alert.
Who says that Batman isn't autistic though?
Yeah. That's true. He doesn't like being touched.
No. But anyway, so he finds out if he wants to get rid of the note, which is what they keep calling it, he basically just has to put it away for 7 days and not touch it, and then Ryuk can take it and give it to someone else, or he can gift it to someone else. Mm-hmm. And immediately, I presume, if you give it up, you're the next name in the book. It comes up
100%.
later in the movie, but I was like, well, if you give it up, you die.
Yeah.
Like-
And that's how I thought, because he said the previous owner died. So I'm like, all right, so all the previous owners probably dead by your
It
hand
just
or
makes
whatever.
sense.
Like,
Yeah.
He's the fucking god of death.
He says, "I'll guess who my next suggestion will be."
God
That
of
I
death
sound
gonna
like
die.
a Death Yoda, not Willem Dafoe.
suggestion will be.
Okay, Kermit.
I mean, Yoda's just
Kermit the Frog here.
Oh, he's also a little bit of Fozzie Bear.
Yeah.
Waka waka. Phenomena.
I love that little puppet from The Mandalorian.
Oh, yeah.
Little baby Yoda.
Little Grogu?
Grogu.
But
Grogu.
still, he's a baby Yoda still.
I mean,
We don't know what the species is, so we call them Yodas.
and also, if you listen to this day, Favreau doing interviews, he will say Baby Yoda more often than he says Grogu. Because
Was
that's
it-
the name.
Was it Strangers with Candy? That was the one that was like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm sorry.
Sorry, little fella.
Yeah, sorry about that name.
Ooh.
Yeah.
She spoke for us when it's like, Grogu, what? Well, that's his name. Ooh, sorry, buddy.
So Light breaks into his dad's safe and gets the name in the picture, because you have to have their face in your head while you're writing their name, of the guy that killed his mom. And he writes the dude's name in there, and it's fucking awesome. They cut to this fancy dinner party or fancy restaurant.
Another Goldberg death device.
There's basically he's sitting around laughing with all of his other douchebag fucking, like, I don't know, boiler room friends. So there's these people kissing, and they knock a salt shaker off the table. The waiter steps on the salt shaker, puts his hand out to brace himself on the back of Anthony Scommel, or falls on him or something, and just pushes this dude right down into his steak knife, which he jams into his throat.
Neck. Oh my god.
Yeah, and like awesome. At first he just goes face down, and he's like, wah, and everybody's like, what happened? And he sits up and just sprays blood out of his mouth all over the table.
A fountain of gorgeous red gooiness.
And that at least wasn't CG blood. So in the morning, fucking Officer Wiggum, you hear him on the phone, and he's like, oh, that's fucking awesome. And he's just laughing and shit. And he comes in, he's like, turns out your hippie-ass mom was right. Karma's a bitch.
We didn't see eye to eye on everything, but she was right. Karma's a bitch. It's a real weird bonding moment between his son and the dad. It's like high-fiving over this fucking dude's steak knife death, which is cool as shit, but...
His name was Anthony Scommel. You think they were going for like a Martin Scarelli?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because that guy I would write that guy in the book.
You know, I'm something of a death god myself, Peter. Was that poor timing?
I almost spit High Life in my microphone.
Don't pull a Whitney.
Oh, it's had worse.
So Light decides to show Mia the note because he likes her, and he's like,
well, not at first though. Not at first.
Oh, yeah.
She starts talking to him, and he's like, I couldn't tell you.
Okay,
I can't
fine.
tell you.
Well,
she turns around and goes, all right, you really want to know?
Yeah, exactly.
It's so quick. Thank God this guy's not working like American Spy shit. Tell me. No, tell me. Okay.
I can't tell you. I signed a paper that said I wouldn't, but I will.
But
if you'll fuck me.
Yeah.
I'll give you everything you want.
So he's like, can't you? He shows her the book and kind of tells her what's going on, and Ryuk appears.
She doesn't believe it.
Yeah, and he's like, well, look right behind
Why would you? Why would you believe it?
She turns around and looks at this big fucking hedgehog monster, then turns back and she's like, what?
Nothing's there.
Only you can see me.
There you go. Just do all of his lines.
I'll
That's
try.
what you're here for.
I mean, he's got, what, 12 minutes? I could stretch that to 2 hours.
So he proves it to her by Googling live crime scene, which apparently just shows you footage of live crime scenes.
Let's check that out right now.
And there's this guy that's holding his ex-wife and children hostage or whatever. And
yeah, I think you got it.
Without seeing his face, he writes down his name.
No, he does see his face. He looks him up.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, he does look him up.
All right, because I was like, they said his name, but I didn't see his face on TV.
Yeah.
But he writes down the guy's name, and he writes something. You don't know what it is.
Because he doesn't want her to see.
Yeah, and the guy comes out holding his wife at gunpoint, and all the cops, the SWAT team, are pointing guns at him, and he lets her go, and then just stands in the middle of the street and does a salute.
I salute
and
you.
the fucking SWAT truck just plows through him.
Not just plows, slams on their brakes, and skids this dude's, like, they're skidding on blood and bile.
Blood skids.
it is
fantastic.
Great.
I wasn't sure at first if it was blood skids or just wet street because it's Seattle, but I'm pretty sure it was blood
I think
skids.
that street was wet with blood.
Yeah. The streets will be wet with the blood of a redneck.
How do you know he's a redneck? Just because he's holding his husband. He's not a redneck, he's a husband. No, he's holding his wife and kids hostage?
With like an automatic weapon, and he looks like somebody, like an extra from Sons of Anarchy.
Yes, he does.
And then he shows her the book, and she reads it out loud.
The Bums of Anarchy. And it's a spot-on kill.
Yeah, exactly what he wrote is exactly what happened. And she's like, "Oh shit, now I believe you." So he's
and
like,
"She's for it.
We can use this to."
Oh my god, she got the biggest boner.
Well, basically, he's like, I'm gonna be a fucking avenging angel. Like, I'm gonna use this to be a superhero in his mind.
Yep.
He's doing good because he's killing the bad people.
Which I got my vengeance because of my mom.
Yeah.
Why can't I have other people that have had their lives fucked up? I'm gonna right some wrongs or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. And it's the age old like superhero thing where like most superheroes don't kill, and then you have like the Punisher who's like, no, they deserve to die.
All of them.
And everybody looks at him as a bad guy. Or the other heroes. The only people who look at him as a good guy apparently are police officers in the real world.
Which he is not for them.
No, he hates the police. Read a fucking Punisher comic sometime, guy. Or he has like, do you think I'm crazy? And she's like, no, you're not crazy enough.
I hate it. You run from that chick.
Well, you
do not go share death books with her.
Yeah, that's our Chernobyl's chainsaw for this movie. That's gonna come right back around. So they go back to her apartment, presumably, because it's not his. It's just his bedroom.
Yeah,
It looks
they
like
go
they're
on-
walking into an apartment, but I think it might just be his
I don't know if it's
I think
right
it's his
here or
bedroom.
later. It doesn't matter, but
they're
we
making
do
out.
see him sneak in past the dad, but I don't know if it's this or later.
Okay, I guess his dad's always busy. He's a cop, single dad.
He's a co-op.
He lives on a train track. Mm-hmm. Like, if their house was any closer to the train track, it would be wiped out.
Oh yeah, there was that one scene where they're holding the table.
Yeah, which
from-
is, again, a very, like, Japanese thing. I don't think there's many places in, like, Seattle that are set up that way. Like, this is literally, like, on, like, their fence and then the rail of the track.
The Japan of America.
So he's like, "Can I kiss you?" When I like getting ready to make out, and she's like, "You're not supposed to ask." And I'm like, I
Oh,
feel like
yes,
we've been
you
taught-
are.
Yeah, I feel like that's been hammered into us, especially over the last few years.
Do I have your consent?
Little female Harvey Weinstein over here.
Right? Just do it.
Oh man, I made a great joke about Kobe Bryant. I don't remember it.
Oh, because I said she gave
Airball.
consent with her eyes.
Oh yeah, it's like yes. I was like, that's what happened with Kobe, and then the girl got the book and wrote his name in it.
Oh.
Splat.
That car horn was awesome.
Is there like an Amazon delivery fucking trailer outside?
I don't know. There's a clown car outside.
But that was perfect timing.
Hey, Death God works in mysterious ways,
Yeah, it
man.
does.
And then Kobe died. Me. Oh, fucking A. All right. So this is where they both develop their murder kink, and it's going to really fuck them up if they live through this movie. Because they are not going to be able to come without murdering people.
Not
they
at
know.
all.
You jumped into the weirdest kink ever. Where do you go from here? Cuddling?
Right? No, and there was no, like you
Almost
said,
as
jumped
bad.
is the best way to do it because literally it's let's just do it.
Yeah, they start writing down the names of, like, terrorists and, like, mass murderers and pedophiles and, like, famous killers, like, famous bad people.
Yeah.
Despots and
All over the world.
people in prisons and stuff like that while they're fucking. Like, they write it down and then they watch the news about these people dying and they fuck.
and then they
Really? Do you think, oh, is this what happened to Epstein? They're like, and now he hangs himself in his cell.
And now he doesn't commit
Epstein
suicide.
didn't kill himself.
Oh, wait, he still died.
Allegedly.
So he comes up with a name for his superhero squad, which is him and her.
Kira.
Kira.
It's Kira, which means light in Russian and Celtic.
Yeah,
he
because
mentions.
those are so close.
Right. They're almost the same language.
You like potatoes, we drink potato vodka.
They both
Same
love,
thing.
they
Brothers
both
here.
love potatoes. And they both,
Both white as shit.
yeah.
Yeah.
Pigment challenged, as we like to be called.
It also means killer in Japanese.
Yeah.
Well, he says basically. It almost means killer or something like
But
that.
then
But then he
it
shows-
almost means that. But then it shows the dictionary. It's like, yeah, it means killer.
Yeah, also it says Kira in American, like, English letters.
Yeah.
Which is not how Japanese is written.
No, not at all. They use Japanese characters.
Yes.
Very strange.
But it did have the characters next to it, I feel.
Maybe it did. It
Anyways.
doesn't really matter. But then
But
all
he did
these
to throw them off. The reason he did Japanese is so they'd be looking
Yeah.
on a different continent.
they'll look in Japan instead of looking for, like, I'm going to make my serial killer name my name in another language. And they go to, which again, it's like,
They
okay,
can
she's
never
like, wouldn't that
trace
make
it
it easy
back
to
to me.
find you? And he's like,
Well, it's also a
what are they
Japanese.
going to do? Just Google people named Light? I mean, I guess there's not that many of them.
Oh, there's probably 3. And I guarantee you they're all just shitheads.
And no one
Probably.
ever makes that connection, by the way.
Nope.
Not even Super Detective.
Yeah.
So they're killing off all these people, and there's like, they have them writing on the wall like Lord Kira made me
Kira
do it,
saves.
basically.
At one point it was like 16 inmates or something. They
Yeah,
all
and they're
wrote
all writing in Japanese.
perfect Japanese
Yeah.
in
And
blood.
none of them spoke it.
Yeah, on 8 different, or not 8 different continents. There aren't that
So
many.
because they're in
I think they have
prison,
6 different continents.
because
so-
they're in prison, we can say they had good like penmanship. I'll show myself out. I wish that car horn was here for that one.
I love that you put your hand down.
I can't make a clown horn noise without making the with my
booby
hand.
grab?
Yeah, like a bag of sand.
So now we're introduced to L, who is the one played by LaKeith Stanfield, and he's we're at
A
this,
ninja.
We're at this like Yakuza slaughter scene, and I wanted to see this scene. I was like, "This is out of a Quentin Tarantino."
Yeah,
there
it
was
was-
some fun corpses strewn
Yeah.
about.
It was a red room.
Yeah.
blood strewn everywhere, strippers, guys
Hatchets.
in suits.
Titty.
There was a sledgehammer embedded in someone's chest.
Show me that.
Yes, I want to see that scene. Yes, that's the director's cut, but we don't get it on DVD because it's a Netflix original, so they don't put stuff out. And that's when we see Elle, who look, we just see this guy walking through the crime scene dressed like a ninja,
kind of tiptoeing, jumping over
And
puddles
nobody
of
is
blood.
acknowledging him. So is he like invisible?
Yeah, that's what I thought. I was like, is he supposed to be a ghost? Like, what?
Well, because
he's such a ninja, they can't see him.
I knew it's
walking
based
right
on
through.
an anime, so I'm like, is this some sort of phantom detective that makes sense in this world
Yes,
that we
which
aren't aware of?
It
Right?
is.
Yes and no.
He's working with them though. He's investigating, so they know he's there. And then when I say a ninja, is he's got like a mask kind of on and a hood, but he's literally wearing a hoodie with like
All
a
black.
turtleneck that he pulls over his face, and then like black sweatpants.
And great little Steven Seagal tiptoes. Just
I don't think they were sweatpants. They were just those flowy pants.
I'm pretty sure they were sweatpants.
girl, the way he was working it, he was sweating them pants.
Oh, girl.
Girl.
So they're like, how did he even know about these Yakuza people? And Elle tipped him off somehow. Put the information out there because he knows that he's in the police system somewhere.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
probably fed a bunch of different bureaus and precincts different
Different
information. To see. He's like, all right, well, I know what precinct leaked this because I only did it to one.
And I guess his obsession with like finding justice and finding it quickly is because he knows he's gonna die soon from diabetes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this guy, all he does is eat fucking candy
The
and not
entire
sleep.
movie, he just eats candy
And doesn't sleep.
And even when fucking Officer Wiggum meets him later, the first thing Wataru does is offer him a fucking ice cream cone. Like,
Oh, he doesn't. No, he does not offer him
No,
an ice
he-
cream
he
cone.
just hand
puts
it to
his
him.
hand out to say it's like the what, and all of a sudden, boom, green ice cream in your fucking hand. It was amazing. It was so good.
It
so
was Jack's
slick.
favorite place.
Oh, I liked it.
like he knows that he's in America somewhere. Or like he tells Wataru. He knows more than he's letting on.
Yeah.
But they're getting on a plane to go to.
Well, he's not in a trusting
Oh,
mood.
but Hiro is the one who like talked to him in the fucking
Oh yeah,
blood
Hiro
scene.
from Hero.
From Heroes.
Hiro!
Yes.
Yeah.
Yatta!
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, I love that
I was
guy.
I
kind
know
of
you
hoping he had a
love that
bigger
guy.
role once we saw him. It's like,
I know,
oh,
that was all we
oh,
saw.
he's gone.
It was his role in Scrubs was bigger.
Yeah.
Oh.
We got to hear him sing "Hey, Good Looking" in Japanese.
That's one of those jokes that like you're like, I don't know if it would play now or not, but it's so funny though. When he's like, when they kind of first introduce him, he's like, with the janitors doing the crossword puzzle, he's like, a weakness in one's armor, 5 letters, and then JD's like, a chink. And he like
Say it
backs
again?
up. Yeah, back up. It says
And
it
he
again.
yelled it.
Yeah, and he backs up, and then fucking Hiro is standing there, and he's like, I always suspected.
Which is so like, you always suspected JD to be racist? You knocked that dude out.
Oh, I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, but it was saying a chink in someone's armor.
Yeah.
But, you
Well,
know,
but then
whatever. I didn't write the
go to
joke.
Shorzy, and in Shorzy he goes, "Oh, everybody's got a chink in their armor," and she goes, "If I can't print it, you can't say it."
Yeah, that's right.
So do what you will with that information.
Well, you know what? If you have a problem with the joke, go ask Bill Lawrence.
Yeah.
Go ask Bill Lawrence.
Ask.
Ask the captain. All right.
Find the captain.
So Wiggum,
Ask him.
for some reason, Chief Wiggum is in charge of the investigation of Kira. Like he's
No,
a,
they
he's a,
just put him in there for
well,
no
yeah, they just
reason.
put him on there, but like he's a local Seattle cop. This is an international like killing spree. And I mean, there are FBI teams investigating and stuff too. What in the fuck does Seattle? What skin does Seattle have in the game? They don't know they're involved yet.
I think the first murder is there, maybe.
I guess because they figure out. Well, they didn't even know for sure.
Also, come
'Cause-
to find out, nobody in the police department that he's working for wants to stop Kira.
Well, yeah. So what it is?
Yeah,
is
there was
maybe-
interviews and everything.
Maybe every police like major precinct has someone
Yeah.
investigating because it's like an IA thing.
But his office, they had "eat shit" written on
yeah,
there. He
'cause
references
his
multiple
job now
times.
is to
Yeah.
investigate the cops because they assume that it's someone involved in law enforcement because of who's getting killed. So
Oh,
maybe it's
okay,
that kind
all
of
right.
thing.
I just kind of thought they were like, no, we're not investigating Kira because we like what this person's
so
doing.
that's what the news is saying. It's very like Spider-Man. It's like a lot of people like him, some people don't,
Mm-hmm.
whatever. And then like, but they do mention. He mentions when Watari is talking to him, he's like, "Oh well, you know, a lot of people don't like it when you have to investigate them or something like
Yeah,
that." So
all right.
he's checking into the police too to see if it's someone there.
This is the part where there's not a lot of Willem Dafoe, so I kind of checked out.
Yeah, I mean, I will say, I don't know. I liked Elle's character. I don't know if he makes up for not having Willem Dafoe, but he at least keeps it interesting. Most
Elle's
of the time.
character intrigued me right away, as well as his, I think, assistant Watari.
What's our well
He's
like, father
custodian
figure?
/ assistant /
He's just
like,
so stoic because like he can't be serious, and he just walks away without responding.
So
Dig 'em.
this is the part where he's in the car and he's like, "How long has it been since you've slept?" and
41 hours.
Yeah,
hours.
well, that was right when he was getting on the plane. Yeah,
and he's eating some candy, and he's
Yeah.
like, "Put these glasses on; it'll help you sleep
which
for
they
1
never
hour."
explain the glasses.
Not at all.
Really, like,
Oh, also, he sings him just a lovely little lullaby.
Can you sing me a lullaby?
A lovely little lullaby in Lilyhammer.
so Elle wants to talk to Officer Wiggum, Chief Wiggum.
That's right, eh?
So he comes and meets up with him, and he's got the ninja mask on and stuff. Like Wiggum goes to meet with him, and Elle tells him that he knows Kira's in Seattle because Elle's the one who figured out that the dude was the first. They think the first kill.
Which, I mean, super brain moment, because there's no real way to connect that to anything except for he had information to his name and he had access to his name and his face.
Yeah.
Okay, so did everybody watching the news. Like, there's so many murders that have.
And I think he says he's like, I hacked into your system to make sure that nobody was hacking into your system.
Did you just hand me evidence that you hacked the Seattle
Yeah,
Police Department?
and
You're
he
focusing
finds
on the
out-
wrong information.
He finds out that all these these killers came from like information within the police system there, and like that someone had accessed it from within without having to hack it. So, which doesn't make sense because this kid definitely didn't just go. I don't know. It doesn't matter.
He went to his dad's. It doesn't show it. His dad's kind of a sloppy drunk. Leaves the laptop
Yep.
open, logged in.
Yeah.
He's working a cold case.
There's
and
no way
here
my son
comes
is the person.
Bright.
Bright light.
I hate Bright.
Me too. That was a
is it
terrible
Bright
movie
Light?
with Will Smith.
It's light.
That was
right.
that stupid Max Landis movie with Will Smith and the orcs.
Oh, I did hate that too. All right, so I hate Bright, that movie, and I hate Light as a name.
It
Yeah.
is. It's a terrible name.
I tried to zhuzh it up with Bright, apparently.
Apparently.
Mia shows him this website where people are listing like, "Hey, you should kill these people." It's like a worshiper of Kira site.
Yeah,
and
it's a tip.
very rightfully is like, "How can we trust what these people say?"
Oh, yeah.
What if they just go, "Hey, my girlfriend fucked someone, so I put her on there. Yeah, she's a pedophile."
What would you do if somebody fucked me?
Oh, I'd kill
I'd
him.
kill him.
Oh, I'd kill him.
And that's
why
exactly
I can't trust
why.
this website. It's basically like a really fucked up version, a more fucked up version of 4chan.
Yeah.
Just a bunch of people that are like, "Yeah, kill this guy."
It'll come back. It's Ryuk's Remington.
Yeah, which he has no problem using later. Ryuk's Remington.
I love that. High five.
I don't know another R weapon off the top of my head.
I was trying to think of something for L's gun, L's Lightbringer. Oh, L comes out now and he does a press conference, which he's like, I don't want to show people my face because I'm not in a trusting mood, but now I'm going to go do a press conference, which does make sense. But at first,
But
you're
he's
like,
not
this
showing
doesn't-
his face.
No, he's still got his ninja mask on. He's still using the name L, and he's basically calling out Kira. And he's like, "Hey, kill me now if you want to stop me or whatever." And then they can't kill him. They're watching the news because that's what teenagers do: is sit around watching the news.
Well, that's foreplay
Well, if
for
you're
them.
if you're on a killing spree, yeah, you're gonna watch
Foreplay
and
for
see
them, yeah.
how close you are to getting caught.
So
look, a
and
plane crash.
They don't kill
Whoa.
him right away, so he's just like, "Well, turns out they need my name and face."
Yeah, he's so
Yeah.
fucking smart, man.
Great deduction. So Light starts interrogating Officer Wiggum there about what happens with L that night. Like he's like, "Hey, so." Light comes out like Ryuk hiding in the shadows. And he's like, "So what happened today?
Yeah.
What's with that weird fucking ninja dude on the TV?"
Yeah.
You sense like maybe little corruptions happening, which I don't think is true. But I think one of you asked at one point, like, is the book changing him? And at this point, it seems like, yeah.
Yeah, it
is.
is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
well, it's
just-
just the power. I think it was. It's like the influence and the ability to do these things changes who you are as a person. 'Cause
You hang out with a death god long
Yeah.
enough.
Well, he says
And the
when they
chick
come
that
up
only
with,
loves you if you're fucking killing people.
when they come up with the name Kira, he says he's like, we'll be a god and da da da, and like so.
These people aren't sheep. They need a god. Or I forget
Yeah,
the
some
exact...
People are
that-
sheep.
Well, she calls them sheep. He goes, no, they're not sheep. They need a god. We'll give them a god.
Let's give him a god.
And so he interrogates his dad, and it's his dad's like, "Wow, that's fucking weird," but he's trying to get information about Elle, and he finds out nobody knows his name, nobody knows what he looks like, nobody knows anything about him except for maybe Watari.
Yeah.
Mia wants to kill everybody involved in the investigation. She's like, let's just put all their names in there, the FBI, the fucking police, everybody.
Because
Because
it's kind of the first friction between the two.
yeah, well, because someone was following Light, and she's like, well, kill him. And he's like, well, I can't kill him because then they'll know it was me. She's like, okay, then kill them all. Because if you kill them all, they're all following different people. They'll
She
know-
went hard for murder.
Oh, yeah. And he doesn't want to
Super.
kill innocent people. And she's like, well, they're going to ruin your life. And he's like, that's not why I'm doing this. I'm doing this because I'm a noble murderer.
He stays the path, and she just gets fucking murder horny.
Yes, she does.
She goes to like storm out, and he's like, "Hey, maybe we can watch the news, take down some names, have some popcorn, kill some people later." Like,
I heard there's a pedophile on Channel 3. It's going to be great.
and she's like, "I'm leaving," and goes upstairs, which is not leaving. So
Well, she's got to grab her calculus book or
Well, we
some
all thought
shit.
she was stealing the book.
Nope.
She only stole like
She
a
only
page.
took a page.
Yeah, we didn't know it now.
We
But yeah,
didn't
we all
know.
we didn't. No, we all thought this was like, oh, she has the book now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And they
fucked,
don't
buddy.
they don't really explain like, okay, so she can write in the book, but he's the only one who can see Ryuk because he's the holder of the book.
Anyone can
She
write
can
in the
take
book.
a page and still use it. It doesn't have to be in the book.
Uh-uh.
Like it doesn't make any sense. I'm sure
It
these things are all
doesn't.
explained in the anime, but I don't know.
I think we just land on the fact that this is a god of death. He is thirsty for death.
So he lets all the rules
Yeah.
fly for that.
Do we think he wrote the rules, or is he like a djinn that just must be adhered
I think he
to
wrote the
by
rules, and that's why there's always like little.
He
weird
does say
things.
something later. Someone Light says something about the rules, and he's like, "Who do you think wrote the rules?"
Oh,
kid?"
okay, yeah, so
Something
it's
like
him.
that. So,
All right.
so the FBI team starts dying. Like you see the FBI director guy, and he's walking downstairs and has a heart attack, and immediately the Light is like, "Oh shit," you know, or
You're all
they're
compromised.
all
Get
gonna-
to a
yeah.
fucking hospital now.
No, it was L. Yeah, L.
Yeah, L.
calls one of the FBI guys. Hey, get all your team out of there. Too late. They're all walking together to like the
They
FBI
dropped their
building.
1997 cell phone in 2017. This thing's a flip screen,
I know.
a flip phone with buttons.
I'm wondering if, because the BlackBerry was very prevalent in this thing, and so I'm wondering if they
Not
were
in
one of.
2017.
No,
In
in
the
this
movie.
movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but no,
So I'm
that's-
wondering if they
They're
were.
trying to make a comeback.
Yeah, like
Don't
They're
call
like
it a comeback.
investor.
They're like, Netflix, we will pay you $100 to have our phones in your movie. That's how much we have left.
I'm wondering. Also,
That's
I
why
wonder
there's 3
if,
writers. Someone had to write BlackBerry into the fucking movie.
I'm wondering if the timeline, because it never really says what year it is in the
No,
show.
it doesn't. But L has a very modern-esque phone. Like he's got a 2017 phone at one point.
Does
He's
he?
got When he calls,
Oh, that's an LG.
Much later, he calls with a
But
big
he does
touchscreen.
have to run into the computer lab to pull up that website. So I don't know. It doesn't really all line up.
So it's trying to like maybe adhere to the anime's time.
I think maybe it's that, or it's one of those things where they're trying to make it like not in the sense we're used to using this word, but like a timeless thing where it doesn't. You can watch it this year, you can watch it next year. You can
Or
watch
here's
it
the
like-
thing: is like no one gave it as much thought as we're giving it.
That's
is
most
another
likely
option.
the case.
Yeah.
So all the FBI team walk up to the top of this building. Everybody's looking at them because it's just this group of people walking in a flying V, like the fucking
The Mighty Ducks.
And they go up to the top of this building and they just start walking off. And you only see one guy.
And
who
they just
starts
go,
running.
Walking off, just falling to their death. Oh, what if we had Walken?
Love your
as,
walking.
What if we had Walken as the Death Note demon? Put a name in the paper, and I'll make it happen, Captain. Ooh, good one. I'd
And-
like to see that happen.
All
Go
these
on.
dudes come falling off the building. So it's raining men.
That should have been the song.
Hallelujah.
Well, with all the other music cues in this fucking movie, it would have made.
This is where you go lean into goofiness.
Yeah.
Recognize what you are.
This plaza, by the way, the only reason I say this is because this plaza is full of people.
Yeah.
So these guys start falling off the roof. It's just gonna be like plop, 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 plop. The heaviest raindrops ever.
This is going to be the worst day of a lot of people's lives.
I'm surprised they didn't land on actual people.
Dead dudes are falling on my head.
Bum, bum.
Yeah, so Light thinks that Ryuk went rogue and killed them.
God, this is going to be a nasty street sweeper the next day.
Oh yeah,
Oh, God.
all those bodies. All
But
up.
I mean, you know, we jump around a little bit. But like, it's pretty obvious that it wasn't Ryuk. He's bound by these rules. Like, we know that fucking Mia took. Well, we think she took the whole book at this point. But
Yeah.
you would think this is like the next day he would have noticed the book missing by now.
Yeah.
But you know, she just took a page and she just was, and her little plan is fucking pretty good. I mean, other than the fact that it involves sneaking up on a trained FBI agent and tasering him.
That was some balls, dude.
Yeah.
They reveal later she like tasered this guy and she wrote his name and she like took looked at his badge
wallet.
and stuff and she wrote his name down.
One of the rules, you can control someone for 48 hours
Yeah.
up until their death.
Yeah, no more than 2 days. So she starts writing down like, you want to write down the name of everybody on your team.
Agent
and then,
Smith writes down all the names of his team
Yeah.
before he joins them in killing.
and then you want to walk off a building.
Yeah.
She says leap.
She says leap, and
They
no one
literally
does.
just
I
walk.
want them to walk up to the edge and just put the
I want
arms
to see
out.
a
The
ballerina,
swan.
a swan. Oh, a swan dive. You're thinking swan dive. I want like a pirouette,
a plié.
kinda a plié, a plié.
Plie is the deet one. You don't
How do
see
you
that.
know
A
that?
leap.
How do you know that?
'cause he
you
took
you never seen
dance.
Black Swan?
No.
Oh, you should.
All right.
That's good.
Want to see Natalie Portman and Mila Kunis fuck?
Yeah.
He's
Black
Patrick
Swan.
Swayze.
All right.
He's Patrick Swayze. Like, he took all the ballet classes.
I mean, I did do some dance in 7th grade because I was in
Gay.
the school I was in. the version of drama they had was musical theater. So
Well, and
You are a walking musical theater.
my mother's a music
I love you.
teacher, and I've done a lot of dance and musical plays.
I did dance when I was 9.
I could do the whole Conrad Birdie song right now. I won't.
yeah, we don't have time for that.
I won't do it, dude. Unless you ever want to do Guys and Dolls.
I do.
Or Bye Bye Birdie. Or
I saw that play when I was
Music Man
in
or-
fifth
Make a
grade.
podcast called Jack and Whitney Do Karaoke.
Oh my god, I'm for it.
without the TV screen.
I'll shut all the doors and windows and leave. I'll just hit record and be like, I'm going to the bar.
deuces.
I will find my way. I can go the distance.
Okay, sorry. Back to Death Note.
So anyway, Ryuk is telling Light at this point, like, you need to give up the book. You're a fucking pussy. Like, you're turning into a little bitch, and we don't want you here anymore.
What about that little
And-
girlfriend of yours?
Yeah, and Light says he's gonna write Ryuk in the book, and he's like, yeah, good fucking luck. My name is 4 letters long, and no one's ever written more than 2.
And he,
Two
Big
ass
fingers,
long.
by the way.
fucking fingers.
Yeah, he's like, 2 letters, huh? Those are big fingers, by the way.
he comments like, "Oh God, your fingers are big."
I think it just came.
Imagine that in my ass. Chief Wiggum at
You
this
can just
point,
write that in the book. Ryuk fists me,
but you got to die within 48
Yeah.
hours.
unless you burn it.
No, that's fair. Ryuk
But you
fists
only
me,
get one burn?
And as he's fisting you, you
Hey.
just burn a page.
After a fisting from Ryuk, you only want one burn.
Ooh.
You got the burn already.
It's you telling me an elder god doesn't have like an old ass STD?
Oh, you know he does. He invented syphilis.
So Chief Wiggum gives a press conference about Kira, basically calling him a pussy. He's like, come at me, bro.
No, we're not scared of you.
And he's like, if you kill me, someone else will take my place, just like Hydra. And Mia, go ahead.
Mia's all for it. She's like, we have to do it
Let's
because
kill your dad, dude.
they're gonna know it's you if we don't kill your fucking
My favorite
dad.
line in that whole thing is she's like, but think about your mom. He's like, yeah, that's why I don't want my dad to be dead.
Think about your mom while we kill your dad, you fucking pussy.
And this is when he's like, we're not heroes anymore, whatever. And I'm like, were you?
Were you ever a hero?
I mean, anti-hero at best.
I mean, lesser of evils.
A definite
Yeah.
vigilante.
I don't know.
Is
We don't know what all the
vigilante a
people.
hero?
We don't know what all the people he killed were doing. I mean, human trafficking, they enlisted, pedophilia. Those people definitely deserve it. But I mean,
Wasn't there like that Korean guy or something?
Chinese guy.
Chinese guy, yeah.
But they implied that he was like a big bad dictator, and he killed himself while torturing somebody.
It was
so,
awesome. It was
I mean,
beautiful.
oh yeah, he picked up those fucking
Jumper
Jumper
cables.
Jumper
cables.
cables, and then his head exploded.
Well, because he had like a bucket of water. They were waterboarding and shocking this guy.
Well, it was
Overkill.
like what is that in one of the Rambos, right? Where they like have the people, they have them on like
I believe
the
it's
spring-
number 3.
Yeah, they have them on
the
like the
spring?
springs of the mattress, and they like hook the things up to it, and their feet are in water.
Yeah, I've seen
I think
that.
It's
So
actually,
it's
now that I'm saying
it's
it's,
not a
number 2
Rambo.
when they had him buried in pig shit up to his neck
Okay.
in Vietnam because he went
Yeah.
to go
So it wasn't a Rambo.
what
movie.
most people call hell. He calls home.
Well, we'll find out soon because we're
shit?
gonna do all 5
Pig shit,
Rambo.
that
yeah.
is stinky shit
Yeah.
because they
They got him,
literally
like,
eat everything.
strapped up to sticks, all crucified up, and just buried up to his neck in pig shit. You can smell that. Scene.
Would you rather be buried in pig shit or buried with ants?
Ooh, I'm gonna survive pig shit,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna wish I didn't.
You can never get that out of your hair.
Well,
Could
hey,
never
guys.
come clean. It's like a Seinfeld BO.
Hey, people listening, tune in because July we're gonna be doing all 5 Rambo movies.
Oh shit, that's right.
yeah.
July is
Happy
Sylvester
birthday.
Stallone's birthday.
July 6th.
But there are 5 Mondays, which is perfect because there are 5 Rambo pictures. I don't know if I want to say movies. I think they stopped being movies at a certain point.
Moving film.
Talkies.
Is it-
5 talkies.
I've only seen 1, 2, and 4. I've never seen 3 or 5.
I have seen 1 through 5.
Well, guess what? You're gonna watch them again.
I own the first 3 because that's how much I enjoy that original trilogy.
Well,
So you bring them over and we watch it.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't have to. It's on my phone.
I have them on Blu-ray. out
I'm
there.
the exact opposite of Derek. Not the exact opposite. I need to own a lot of things
Digitally?
on my phone so I can just not ever be without it.
I just have a problem with digital content because nobody believed me for the last fucking 15 years. I've been complaining about this, but with this Warner thing, it's happening to a bunch of people. Like with Warner Brothers getting sold or whatever's happening.
Yeah. You're losing your shit.
People are losing access to things that they quote unquote bought
Yeah.
because the rights now changed hands to
Well,
someone
I'll tell you
else,
another
and-
problem. My Wi-Fi went out the other day, and I was like, well, I guess I'm watching a Blu-ray.
Oh yeah, when we didn't have internet for like 3 days, 4 days because the router died.
You had
Watched lots of movies.
Yeah, we
the
did.
go-to of mine when the Wi-Fi was off was Red. Like that one.
I don't know. I like physical media.
Yeah,
Even though like discs like that, they do eventually deteriorate too. Not the same way.
Yeah,
that
but I think
VHS
we'll
does,
fall
but-
apart before they do.
I mean, laser discs are starting to come apart on people, but that was also early disc technology. So
We're well into Blu-ray and 4K.
But anyway, so L confronts Light at the diner, some diner.
L confronts Light.
Yes.
Just that sentence.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Later on in the movie, we had the subtitles on, and L was yelling off screen, so it said parentheses L Light. I was like, someone's stuttering.
Light. Such a stupid name.
Also, the way he sits, again, he's like a kid.
Yeah, he sits like Toad from the X-Men.
Yeah. He's,
or like an ADD kid would sit when he has to like sit through a math video or lecture.
and he's just like,
He's
Yeah.
always up. He's always got candy.
Yeah,
Yep.
he's got very little. He's got all these little twitches and stuff. Like when he's talking to people and he's got his mask on, he's always like
perpetually
wiping his hand.
6.
He's wiping his hand across his face. And I'm after post COVID, I'm like, you're not supposed to touch the mask.
Don't
Stop
don't
that."
touch your mask, man. Don't touch your mask.
But he confronts Light and he tells him that he knows he's Kira. And Light's like, I don't know what you're talking about. That's crazy, bro.
Yep.
Not
well,
a
you
very
didn't
good
kill your
liar.
father, so obviously I know you're Kira.
But he
Yeah.
also, I think, kind of has some balls. Like, you can't fucking prove a thing. Because even if I confess to you right now, yeah, I've been killing people. I've been writing their name in this book. It's like, all right, crazy guy, move
Prove
out of
it.
here. Move out. They're gonna shush you out of the fucking station to make room for somebody that actually is not insane.
Yeah.
Well, and L doesn't even know how it's happening. Like this whole time, I thought he had some kind of knowledge about the Death Note. Like it seemed like he knew somehow. Maybe he had it at one point, or
I think he knows more than everybody else.
But he says he's like, is it some kind of psychic ability? Is it some kind of whatever? Like he has no.
Oh, you
clue
have
how
no
he's doing
idea.
it. Yeah.
I have
oh no,
a
I
lot
have
of ideas.
many ideas.
And Ryuk is like
They're all
watching them.
factual.
Like, Light goes to leave and sees Ryuk watching them, so he sits back down to like talk to L some more, and he's basically suggesting that L and Kira, he's not admitting that it's him, want the same thing. They just go about it in different ways. And so L, for some reason, decides it's time to reveal his face. I guess maybe he's testing his theory that he needs both.
That you need both, yeah.
So like he shows him his face, and it's like, okay, well now he's got his
Risk
face.
versus reward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All he needs is his name now, which nobody knows. Like, they talk to Watari, or they try to get Watari to tell him later via Death Note. He calls because they're like, he really wants to tell somebody the identity, and he wants to tell
taking
him at this
full
phone
advantage
number.
of that 48 hours.
Yeah, he is.
and he calls and he's like, yeah, I don't know his fucking name. I got him from the Batman school for the super detectives or something.
Yeah.
So there's a bunch of these guys running around.
Exactly.
At least
Well,
a
no.
couple.
Well, a
A
lot
couple
of them don't
because
make
some
it.
of them did not make it.
Yeah,
They
but
what,
Elle
lock
was the
you-
youngest one.
They lock you in a vault for
7 months.
Yeah.
7 months.
Yeah.
I gotta assume there's food and water.
Well, yeah, but they're like, he's like,
Yeah, candy.
if they didn't lose their minds, and I'm like, wow, so it's for orphans, so they are at least under 18. He's the youngest. He started at 6. So they're not all like small children really, but like
Under
you've
18.
got 8, 9, 10-year-olds you're just locking in a room and they lose their mind because the ones who didn't make it, which was most of them, he says,
They're dead.
yeah, they went insane,
Yeah.
locked in a fucking room full of gnats. Just-
It was a circular room. And he sat in the corner.
Figure it out.
So anyway, that comes up later, but I had to he's the super detective. I don't know. It's fucking weird. I mean, I guess a lot of anime goes for like somewhat of a superhero genre. It's just a different type of superhero genre. It's not American superhero.
You got to imagine
fiction.
there's a lot more backstory to this guy that we're not getting in this hour 35, give or take. Like, it's 19 hours of an anime.
Yeah.
You can explore a lot more. But it's more than this movie's
A
gonna
lot
give
more than
you.
this hour and 30 some odd minutes. So Mia's waiting for Light. Like he leaves and she's waiting for him at the house in the rain. And she's like, I was just scared and sorry. I love you. Please don't leave me. And she just really wants to murder people.
But I love you.
Yeah, she
Exactly.
misses-
She's fucking Saddam Hussein, this guy.
Yeah.
She's like, I can change.
I can change. Sorry, guy. Play with that little book of yours.
She does the whole breakdance song and everything.
Diddy
I'll
didn't
change,
do it.
I can change. Ugh. This is when he writes down about Watari becoming obsessed. One of the rules he read was that you can take a page out of the book and burn it, and that before the person dies, and that will stop them
Isn't
from
that
being
right,
killed.
Ryuk?
Yeah, and he rubs it right in fucking demon guy's face.
I'm
Great
not.
idea.
I'm not poking this bear.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not poking Willem Dafoe's bear.
Not even a little bit. And then he goes, but you can only do it once.
Yeah, you only get one page, and make sure you use it wisely.
Another Spider-Man reference, right? Everybody gets one.
Everybody gets one, Peter.
Thanks, Spider-Man. So he discovers, like, Elle wakes up and just for some reason, or doesn't wake up, I guess. He doesn't really sleep. He sits up and he's like, just feels that something's wrong. Or maybe Watari was supposed to have showed up or something.
Yeah, he hasn't had contact with Atari yet.
Yeah. Did you say Atari?
I did say Atari.
So he goes back
But it's
to...
also like Atari's the original, and this guy's like the Wario version.
Oh, so Atari. I get it.
Oh, so it's an Atari with a mustache that's all crinkly.
That's why he's got the shaved head like braid thing going.
Oh my God, it's a glorious
It's
haircut.
a little
I love
nubbin
it.
of a braid.
I love it.
He's rocking it.
He really is.
He goes to Watari's room and he's like, oh shit, he's missing. His sleep mask is laying on the bed, and somehow that means that he's left. Like, he's like, he would never leave this on the bed.
Yeah, like his bed's not made. Like,
Yeah,
maybe
I
he's
guess
looking
he
at
seems
that.
like a very organized dude.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, he's like,
But he
there's
throws
no
a little
fucking
tantrum,
way.
you know, this little fucking...
Punches the bed.
Yeah, he punches the bed.
Storms
He's
out.
freaking out. The only person who knows him or gives a shit about him is
It's his
gone.
father figure.
Yeah. And
He sings him lullabies, dude.
Yes.
Elle just bursts into the fucking Wiggum house here. I know it's Turner, but I don't care.
No, it's Wiggum.
It's Wiggum.
He bursts in. Ralphie's there. He bursts in and he's angry.
I fell down and I hurt
Now that
my
he
Wookiee.
now that he showed it light his face, he doesn't wear his mask the rest of the
Yeah,
movie.
no.
He's
It's
like, "Now I
just
don't give a
there.
shit.
Now I'm
Everybody
in a
can see
trusting
my
mood.
face." Yeah.
It's a new day.
He's also losing his
He has
mind,
not
so-
slept. So
Yeah. He bursts in and he's basically telling
Sleep
Chief
is important
Wiggum.
for strong thought.
Yeah,
which is said multiple times in this movie.
but,
But it
comes
never,
to nothing.
yeah, it came to nothing.
There's a lot of things that seem important that never pan out.
How many
I guess
red
they-
herrings are
Those
in
were
this
for
movie?
part 2.
Oh, this is getting a sequel? Never.
This was going to be their Avatar.
Oh, God.
Maybe it still will be then. We just got to wait 30 years for the next one.
Please, no.
One per generation, right?
Dude, that fucking movie sucked. Both of them.
And go.
All right, I'm sorry. James Cameron, you're great. Just stop making blue people movies. I know he listens.
Oh, yeah.
Now that
Or
I've said his
green
name,
people.
he will.
He's a subscriber.
He's got an algorithm that just picks up anytime someone says James Cameron.
They're talking
James
about
Cameron,
me in
James
Tucson.
Cameron, James Cameron.
Did you just Bloody Mary James Cameron?
No, I Beetlejuiced him.
I was going to go with Candyman, too.
I Beetlejuiced him.
Yeah, it's Beetlejuice James Cameron.
So anyway, Elle
Come for
bursts
your
in.
Avatar,
They're
Chuck.
having, like, the closest thing to a family dinner they can have, I guess. It's Mia and Light and Chief Wiggum all sitting at the table together.
Glass of scotch for this guy's meal.
Yeah.
I mean, and he
No
comes in,
judgment.
and he jumps up and like squats on the table, I think, or does he jump into a chair?
No, he does that. No, he's squatting in the chair.
In the
but
chair,
it's
but he is definitely
it's
still doing that
I don't know,
Peter.
gargoylean perch.
Yes, yes, that's a perfect. I was gonna say Spider-Man perch.
Yeah, that's what
Gargoylian.
I was literally just about to say. It's like Spider-Man, like, or like I said earlier, Toad, like the
Yeah.
crouching thing, or like our good friend Jesse, rest in peace.
Miss you,
One of our
motherfucker.
friends called him. His nickname was Toad because he always squatted down. Okay, what happens? So he comes in and he's like, "Hey, well, I've got cops here and I've got a search warrant for your house and blah 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 blah." And like the girl leaves. He tells her to leave. He's like, "Hey, you need to get the fuck out." 'Cause
She
he doesn't
sits
know
on the
she's involved.
stairs.
Yeah, she's sitting there listening. She hears the cops coming in and she goes upstairs. So this is when we're like, okay, so she didn't take the book before because now she's going to get the book to secure it. Again, not knowing that she already took a page. And she took it and hid it so that they wouldn't find it. And she ends up telling him that at the homecoming dance, which I guess is what you would go to when you're in the middle of an international manhunt.
Your house is getting raided, and so this is where Chief Wiggum like slams Elle on the table and is
Yeah.
like, "Fuck you,
the
get out of
fuck
my
away from
fucking
my
house."
son, you
I mean, because he's at
cocksmoke.
least
So
that
there
good
is
of a dad.
cussing.
He's
Yeah.
like, if you threaten my son one more time, I'll fucking kill you.
Called
And
my
yeah, he
son
does
an
this.
international war criminal.
I mean, there's no coming back from that. Hey, sorry, that time I accused your son of being a Japanese death god.
Sorry, love and peace.
You know that the Skittles go right to my head. Fucking just over there sniffing pixie sticks, man. I got a theory.
I definitely did that in seventh
That's
grade.
what they should have
yeah.
had.
and
That's what they
Smarties.
That's what they should have had when he was breaking down. You know,
progression.
like in Godfather or no,
going through a hole.
Goodfellas. Sorry, when Goodfellas, when he like gets worse and worse, he's doing more and more coke and getting all paranoid, hearing the helicopters and shit. He's losing his mind. Instead of having skills all around him, he just breaks open pixie sticks and lays out lines.
He
just
goes to a
rails.
Walgreens. I'll take the Smarties. Leave the box. And just starts crushing them and sniffing them. Woo!
He somehow finds that candy store from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
He's just like,
Who can make a rainbow? Shut the fuck up and give me
Mainline
chocolate.
mainline.
What do you have in a syringe form of candy?
Leave the bottle
I'm
of strawberry
asking.
syrup.
Jello shots.
This guy's the fucking Wario of old Wilford Brimley.
Oh,
He's pro-diabetes.
So Ryuk is basically threatening Light and telling him, I'm going to take the book from you, I'm going to get it to someone else, and then you know whose name's going to go in that fucking book first, you little punk ass.
You little
Basically.
bitch.
Oh,
Named
didn't see that coming.
Light.
So they go to the homecoming dance, and she's like, here, this will make you look spiffy, and gives him a top hat. And it's got
This
the
kid
note
looks like
in
a
it.
fucking idiot
Yeah,
in a
no,
top
anybody
hat.
in a top hat usually looks like an idiot.
But there's a
Slash
reason
still
for
look
this
good.
top hat.
Top hat McToxie.
Oh god, no. Top hat McToxie.
They do have a reason for this top hat, though.
Yes, no,
Yeah.
it's for a shell game. So they go into the dance.
To the dumbest cops
Oh,
ever.
and the note does say, I have it.
Yeah, that's how he finds out she has the book because he's freaking out.
Mm-hmm.
And they go into the dance, and he's just standing off to the side wearing his top hat, acting all mopey. And you think maybe they're fighting or something. Like, they don't really show. And, like, she comes over with some other guy, and she's like, oh, he wants to dance with me. Is that okay? And he takes off his top hat and puts it on the kid, and he goes, go for it, pal, or
and
whatever.
gives him a little
a little slap on the
mafia
cheek.
slap. I don't know, man.
And, you know, it seems like he's mad or whatever, but really it's just...
So he
that's
could get
their
out.
way of making the cops watch this kid with black hair and no blonde tips.
So he could talk to Wario. Or
You think
Watari.
Watario.
Watario.
Do you think this kid's thinking he's gonna get lucky?
Yeah, I think he's
Fuck
all
yeah,
about it.
dude.
He's like,
You know what?
this hot bitch is all up on my
I saw her
junk.
smoke a cigarette at the beginning of this movie. She's got to be easy. It's
Yeah, she's a slut.
high school and she's smoking cigarettes.
Her legs wide open.
I'm not a big fan of sidebars on the show, as we all know, but quick sidebar. The way you did that Wario laugh and then your Willem Dafoe voice tonight, in my head now all of a sudden I'm like, I really hope that terrible looking CG Super Mario Brothers movie does well.
Uh-huh.
Because we need a sequel
With
Wario played by Willem Dafoe.
Or Waluigi. Or
Either way.
Yeah.
Ooh, Waluigi.
Well, I guess he's closer to Waluigi. Well, Wario's... If he does his Willem Dafoe voice from, like, The Lighthouse, he could be Wario. If he does his Willem Dafoe voice from this
From speaking.
or Spider-Man, he
From
could
just
be
normal
Waluigi.
speaking.
He just needs a little more bass to be Wario.
True. I'd
But
watch.
I'm like, that movie looks fucking stupid. And I'll probably watch it, but not in the theater.
Not in the theater for me. I'll be
there's-
stoned as shit at
there's-
home.
I mean, we have Disney Plus.
So Watari is looking through. It looks like he's in Canada, but I mean that's Seattle. I mean they probably shot the fucking thing in Vancouver. Everything is shot in Vancouver.
Everything.
Do you? It's coming up in a minute, but the L calls and he goes, "Get me the New York department."
Yeah, he like picks up the phone. I need the New York department.
So this guy can't be in New York. He's got to be just in like the woods of Seattle or
Yeah, I
outside
don't
of
know.
it.
Well, no,
I-
because this is already 24 hours later.
This is wherever the school
or
is.
at
which-
least 40 hours later.
I didn't catch the name of the school. Like I did, he said it, but then they never repeated it.
Oh,
Montauk.
it's, no, it's Xavier's School for Gifted Detectives.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
God, that was like serious. But it is a school in Montauk or whatever, which is in New York, I believe. So
Sounds like Canada
Sounds like Canada.
or Wisconsin.
So I guess we're
But-
led to believe the headquarters are in New York.
yeah.
I mean, I guess he could have gotten on a plane, but like he has 48 hours to find this fucking. Anyway, he doesn't know L's name. He got him in custodianship after he left the school, and he's had him ever since. So he's looking for this school, and Light is like, "What the fuck you mean you're looking for this school?" He's like, "Well, it's not supposed to be easy to find, dummy."
It's a fucking CIA or some shadow agency.
it's
fucking
a
little.
secret school that tortures orphans.
It's a secret school that tortures orphans.
And so he ends up finding the Batman school in the middle of fucking desert or jungle, forest. It's not a jungle, I guess.
You can't go to Batman school if you have parents, dude.
No, you have to be an orphan.
Oh,
Well, I have
what
one
did you call
parent.
it?
Not anymore. Write it down in the book.
What did you call it? You called it Batman School for Robins?
yes,
Absolutely.
Batman school for gifted robins.
I think they call it a Robin farm with the frequency he's going through them.
It's kind of like the Umbrella Academy.
Yes, 100%.
It's like the Umbrella Academy with apparently less funding because they're shut down. So he gets there and it's like overgrown, and he's looking through all these old papers and
He finds the tiniest little like switch in the floor.
Yeah.
like he maybe he's been there, but he looked at this eagle, I think, on the floor.
Yeah.
Just picked up one of the tiles and boop, secret switch.
Yeah, it seems like he's been there. I mean, that's probably where he got L from them directly, I'm sure.
I was thinking it had something to do with the Death Note saying, you know how to find this shit. Like, you are obsessive
maybe.
and
Maybe.
like
You're obsessed with revealing.
You just
I didn't-
now know
I
how
didn't
to
read
do
the
all of it.
97 rules. But I was hoping that the orphanage would have like a front, you know, where they can put the good orphans up front, you know, like he's a real good spy. His listening's not so well.
That one, we keep the crazies in the back, but you can have one of them too. They're discounted.
Oh, those out back, we're getting rid of those.
That's a clearance
Clearance.
detective.
Did you want a clearance orphan?
So he does end up finding L's file. There's these guys, these like hitmen, fucking
The New York office sent some agents.
Neil team, SEAL
Neil Team Dix.
Neil Team Dix comes and finds him. They're sneaking in while he's looking through the things.
And he's
He
on the
finally
phone with
finds-
Light.
He finds the folder somehow, and it's all this old deteriorated paper, knowing nothing other than the letter L. Which I would.
Hey, you checked the
He
L
found
section.
his picture. He was
Well,
like,
yeah, I would
found
assume
him.
his name did not start with L. Like I kept thinking it was going to be, and I'm sure maybe in the comics, you know, or the manga or whatever, it's something like this. It's
It was A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
I was assuming maybe it was going to be like Roman numerals, like he's the 50th orphan.
He did have the Roman numeral 3 on his neck.
Yeah.
Watari did.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, not
Nope,
Watari.
nope.
L.
L did.
L did.
L.
Okay.
Just, I mean, you see it very briefly, but at one point he just kind of gives
Well, it's
it.
probably a
I
real
caught it at the
tattoo,
same
then.
time.
We
she
said
did,
something
yeah.
about it. We're like, I wonder if that has something to do.
He's like the third fucking one to survive.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that might just be a real tattoo though, since they
Could
don't
be.
really like focus on it or anything.
Yeah, maybe. I
It
don't
looks
know.
pretty visible.
I just
though.
know Watari had a lot of tattoos. That's why I thought it was.
I know this is that. Oh yeah, he had a couple like supernatural ones too on his
Yeah.
chest.
Yeah.
They were
I know
beautiful.
this though. If I'm gonna run a school for like secret detective agent orphans,
By the way,
and I abandon it,
better movie.
you burn it down.
You burn it down.
Yeah, way better movie, of course.
Have you seen Umbrella Academy?
Yeah.
I mean, it was a green forest, so it
Better
couldn't
show.
like burn all of it, right?
No, but you
Like, the
burn
forest
the
would be
records.
fine.
Okay.
Yeah, you burn the school. The
You
forest
burn-
wouldn't burn down.
You burn the whole bottom area that's a secret. You burn that. to
Well,
the
that's right, because
ground.
it's underground.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, when you
no,
have to abandon it,
is a
just burn the
castle.
fucking school down.
Yeah. Yeah.
It
It's a
does look
stone
like Xavier's school for gifted
It
youngsters.
does. It is a stone school, so you're right. It wouldn't have been because it's all like in.
That forest's gonna be fine.
Yeah, 100%. Burn that bitch down. Burn the motherfucker down.
Man, you
Never get
switch-
caught.
You switch as quick as light did.
And it's fucked up though, because like Light is trying to tell Watari like give up, like abandon ship, or get out
I'm
of there,
just
'cause
obsessed
he gets
in
the
finding
book-
this.
He gets to the book and sees that Mia's taken the page.
Yep.
So he can't burn the page and save him. So he's like, get out of there, I don't want you to die, whatever. And he's like, no, I am obsessed with finding the identity, revealing the identity. I
found it.
But then this fucking Neil Team Dix comes in. And they're just like,
Are you
love
Watari?
yeah, they're like,
I
are you
love that
Watari?
that
And he
stuck.
just stops reading. He goes, yes, I'm Watari. And then they fucking blow him away.
He
No,
closes his eyes because he knows what's coming.
if you're obsessed with revealing the identity, you would just read it off the paper.
But he's obsessed with. Don't clap back at me. He's obsessed with getting the information to Light. So
Yeah.
he's not obsessed with telling these fucking
No,
guys.
but Light's on the phone with him. He's on
Yeah.
the phone when he gets shot. So he would be obsessed with telling this information.
But you also hear Ryuk just.
yeah.
So
like-
the time has come. I think it's already after 7 p.m.
He's
or it's-
counting. He's like, and 1 Mississippi, 2
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mississippi.
Well,
and
and
whatever
Light
48
knows-
hours of Mississippi's is.
Yeah.
A
48
lot of
hours in Mississippi.
Mississippis.
That's the third one after 48. Another 48 hours. They did 48 hours in Mississippi, but Eddie Murphy wouldn't come back for it.
Did Nick
So they
Nolte?
got Sidney Poitier and Nick Nolte.
Are you fucking kidding me?
I can't do Sidney Poitier voice. He's too dignified. for
Yeah,
me.
he doesn't deserve me. Like he doesn't deserve me trying to butcher that shit.
I'm sorry. I just when I said 40 hours, you said 48 hours in Mississippi. I just thought of
Fried green tomatoes.
No, he's never seen that. He won't watch it.
Steel Magnolia.
He
In the
he
Heat of
won't
the
watch
Night.
it.
I know,
Yes, in the heat of the night.
So I thought of In the Heat of the Night when we said this because it's in the South. Whatever, doesn't matter. So Mia took the page from the book. So now fucking Watari's dead. And then he calls her, right? Or does no? He comes back out to the dance.
Oh, he texts her, "Meet me at the Ferris wheel."
Not yet.
Not yet. He comes back out to the dance and takes his top hat from the
This
guy.
is where he
That's
knows.
right,
He's like,
and
so you're just
hugs her.
Yeah.
more evil than I thought. Okay.
And,
Yeah.
and she reveals that she killed the FBI agents, and she tells him how she did it.
Ryu
and all
cannot
that
bend the
stuff.
rules that he made for
Yeah,
himself.
exactly.
He's bound by the book.
He is
And then
bound
she
by the
tells
rules.
Light,
Like a
I
shitty
wrote your
priest.
name in the book too, so if you give me the book, I'll burn the page. If you don't, you're gonna fucking die. She
And
wrote,
that's why Watari had to die, because I have to have your page
Exactly, because I want to be able to save you, because I do love you, but I also love murder.
Because remember,
I love you
he's
almost
not
as much as I
crazy
love
enough
murder.
for her.
No, she wants him to be crazier.
Yeah.
They call L, and he finds out that Watari's dead. He fucking loses his shit. He had mentioned earlier he doesn't carry a gun because it's distracting. He doesn't like killing people. Well, he goes and gets his fucking Sam Jackson shield briefcase that he opens and it has lights inside of it and shit.
Oh my God.
And he pulls out this fucking super gun.
It's a mix of that and Pulp Fiction Ving Rhames briefcase.
Maybe that's what was in the briefcase.
It was this
Oh,
gun.
the
It was a
fucking
super
cricket?
gun.
What did you call it?
The noisy cricket.
The
Yeah,
noisy
it's
cricket.
this crazy looking gun, and it's kind of good. We were talking about what it should sound like when it goes
It
off.
sounded-
It's good. It's heavy.
Yeah.
What I wanted.
I was looking for more of a hand cannon, like a god killer, like fucking Clint Eastwood.
But it was still
Dirty
good.
Harry.
Dragon Slayer of a
Yeah.
fucking weapon.
Yes, a dragon slayer.
I was
like
just
that.
glad it wasn't a pew pew pew.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm happy with it.
It looks
'Cause
like it
sometimes
could've-
you can go too futuristic.
Yeah, it looked like it could have been a laser gun.
Perfect.
So the cops are coming. Like, so he goes out and he goes looking for Light. The cops are coming to the dance and they're trying to find Light. Light goes to the computer lab. This is why I mentioned I don't know the date of this because he couldn't use his cell phone.
Yeah.
And he's going on to the 4chan website there.
Yeah,
he's just a
and just
poke kid.
writing shit
Yeah.
down, just going bananas.
Yeah,
writing.
he's writing a bunch of people's names down, and you're just sitting there going like, "What? They're gonna take the book away?" And he's like, "Gotta kill some more."
Yeah.
They gotta kill them all.
It seemed very like, I don't know, death grasp. Like,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna pull the pin of this grenade and take people out with me, motherfucker.
100%.
It
100%.
turns out he's just writing the end of the movie.
Yes,
there was three.
This is where
There was 3 screenwriters on this film, and they couldn't come up with an end. So Light wrote the end of the movie
Yes.
for them. Elle is chasing Light through the aisle, or through the alleys and stuff, and there's like some hobo parkour.
this
that
is
you
where
pointed
she had
out.
said. This is where he had said to Mia, "Meet me at the Ferris wheel." And
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
he's straight up.
Dude,
Al gives no fucks about who gets in his way.
Do you remember the bag lady from Home Alone 2?
Oh yeah,
He just jumps off of her
she's
face.
a pigeon lady, not a bag lady, but yeah.
It's her basically, and he just leaps over this thing and uses her face as a springboard.
I believe that lady was played by Ted Cruz. I believe that's the actor for Home Alone 2. Is Ted
No,
Cruz.
no. It was winter in New York. He would have been in Mexico on vacation while all of the people were
very
suffering in
He
snow.
was drinking margaritas
Yeah.
at JJ's Cantina.
And then they run through some kind of diner. That's
it's
a
this-
Japanese diner.
Yeah, this looks very. This is one of the more anime looking parts.
This
of
is
the
Blade
movie.
Runner,
Blade
and now
Runner.
I'm more confused about the timeline.
Yes.
Well, and when he's running across when Elle is running across the top of that diner bar there, he's running like fucking Neo in the Matrix, which is also very anime. He's got like the
Yeah.
straight arms.
oh,
and
but Light runs fucking crazy.
Oh, when Light runs, it is awful. It's like watching a
Think Phoebe Buffet.
his run matches his screech from earlier. in the
Yes.
Well, you know what? Yeah, correct. This is how I would run. Not gracefully, just as awkward as possible, just trying to throw some momentum down the hallway.
Yeah, well, obviously you're familiar with
momentum.
Phoebe Buffet.
Oh,
Phoebe Buffet.
I'm very Phoebe
And how
runs
she like
very loose wrists.
legs popping out the sides. I don't know.
It's very close to Elaine Bennis dancing.
Yes.
This is the,
Oh my God.
This is the Elaine Bennis of running. Is what's happening.
So Elle-
here.
I just did the Elaine dance, so it's fine.
Everybody saw it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
We heard it.
I'm just gonna put a fucking security camera in here, so whenever good things happen, I can just post them on social media. So Elle catches Light, and he confronts him in an alley, and then, of course, instead of like just fucking shooting this kid in the kneecaps and taking him in, he tries to talk to him. Some cook comes out of a restaurant there, and he's like, "Stay away! Don't come over here! This is Manus Kira, and I'm working for the law enforcement." And da da da. And this this cook just knocks fucking Elle out, and he's just like, "Lord Kira." Light has told Mia to meet him at the Ferris wheel. He texted her.
These are some
So they-
stupid names.
They get to the Ferris wheel, and he gets on. He's like, "Put us to the top. Nobody else is allowed to get on." And the guy's like, "What?" And
He's
like, "Fucking
waving the
do it!"
gun.
and puts Light or Elle's big ass fucking Dragon Slayer
He's
gun
got
in his
this
face.
great Dragon Slayer gun now.
Yeah. And the guy starts the Ferris wheel, and then he shoots the controls, which I'm like, A, that's probably gonna stop the Ferris wheel.
Yeah.
B, if it doesn't, you're not stopping at the top like you
There
wanted
goes
to.
all your fail safes, pal.
Yeah. See, once you want to get off, what do you do? Wait for it to get to the bottom and just tuck and roll?
Ooh, you know what you shot? You shot the jukebox, and now it's stuck on Chumbawamba. You punk.
And now you're going to get stuck
I
at the
get
top
knocked down.
listening to that. he has the book and he's like, if you love me, you won't take this from me, whatever. And she's like, oh, I do love you. I love you so much. Yoink. And
But
takes
I
the
love
fucking
murder
note.
more.
Yeah. And then he freaks out and she's like, what the fuck's your problem? And it turns out he wrote her name in the book.
And then she goes fucking bananas.
Yeah, and
on
she
him.
loses her fucking
Caveat.
mind.
Your name it wouldn't have mattered. Your name was in the book if you didn't
Yes.
take the book.
Yeah, so this is where
Yeah.
he wrote the end of the movie. So he writes down all these killers' names and stuff that are people that live in Seattle, I guess. He had
We
time
don't
to
see this yet.
No.
We
It's just
see,
the end of the movie.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
see her fall into a pile of flowers and die.
And he falls into the water.
Falls in the water.
And I'm like,
Yeah,
how is that
and then- yeah,
possible?
and all
Because
this
they were
stuff's
one
happening,
top
we're
of
going,
each
how
other.
does
how's
this
it
work?
How's it possible?
How did-
It was written in the book.
Yeah, well, that's while we're watching it, we're thinking, how did he fall in the water? She fell in the... How did this guy find the book?
With the
Some fucking
briefcase?
briefcase
A leather
hobo?
briefcase.
Yeah,
Oh, man.
a fucking hobo with a briefcase finds the book.
I didn't see that sequel, Hobo with a Briefcase. I saw Hobo with a shotgun.
It's actually a prequel. It was before he
Yes.
became a hobo.
Okay.
Like, it was how he became the hobo.
Gotcha.
He had a briefcase, someone stole it,
And
so
it-
he bought a shotgun.
His briefcase was just a bag full of underwear. Thank you. His briefs were in it, Whitney.
It's the...
Oh,
case full of briefs.
I was thinking
I
more
told you
like...
I would never fake laugh
I
at
was
your
thinking
jokes.
more like...
I respect it.
I was thinking more like, it's the whites, dude.
My civvies.
See, I can laugh at that.
So she dies falling out of the thing.
And now
it's
we're
this
in the
very
hospital
not dramatic
room.
scene. By the way, what's the song playing when she falls? I don't remember. It was very whatever it was. It did not match
I
the
don't want to
scene.
live if
yeah.
living is without you.
Yeah.
No, that's what it should have been.
Oh no,
It
it's
was,
the Chicago.
It was something with like, I don't want to live without your love, but it was so cheery
Yes,
and upbeat.
because
Yeah.
this is the Chicago song.
And it's the slow
Chicago,
motion.
really?
Yes, it had
Wow.
Chicago.
Fuck Chicago.
She's like falling, and they're supposed to be dying, and it's like it's this happy, like, I guess melancholy love song, but
But
it's
it's
not,
still
like,
more
like
of
the
an
lyrics-
up-tempo.
Yeah, the lyrics were matching. The beat was just
Not.
hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. Hello, my handsome girl.
Yeah, it's the end of this movie has the worst music out of all of it. Like these two songs in a row. So Light's been in a
Just
fucking
misplaced.
Oh,
Yes.
and they show that the page that Light did falls, that had Light's name on it, falls into a
barrel
A barrel of fire.
because I guess that was the briefcase hobo's barrel. I don't know.
Yeah.
You don't see fire barrels in Seattle. You
that's
see them in New
convenient.
York. I
Yeah.
don't know. You see them in Chicago.
But
You
Ella's
see
there
them
to
in-
watch this paper just flutter down. I think he's able to read it as it
I
burns
think
up.
he
It looks
did
like he's...
see
Yeah,
a little
Elle
bit
sees
of
it
it.
burning.
But because he's a super genius, he now knows exactly what's
He
happening.
starts connecting dots, and then is this
And
the
it's her
part?
handwriting. It's a girl's handwriting, which is, I mean, most of the time fairly obvious.
Is this the part where he
Well,
recalls
she's
back
the only
to
girl in this
where?
universe.
Yeah.
Is this the part where he recalls back to where Light was like being held up by him?
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet. Because now what's happening is he's about to get... So we find out
It's
that
right after he gets
Light's in a
fired.
coma.
Yeah, he's
and
at the
police
hospital.
guy's like, how the fuck do you think that he's the killer when he's been in a coma for 48 hours and there's still murders happening?
Yeah.
How do you explain that?
Yeah.
You're only not in jail because you got a lot of friends in high places
and
because
Elle
you're
is
fucking
like-
chief #1 Robin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Elle just knows. He's like, no, but you guys, there's something going on. They're like, yeah, you're an idiot. Get the fuck out of here. And when he's leaving, that's when
I believe he
thinks
says,
back.
get the fuck out of here.
And when he's leaving, that's when he thinks back to Light screaming at him like, you can kill people with a calculus book. And
There's a
he's like,
page in a calculus book.
He's
Yeah.
on the plane when he has
Yeah,
this.
don't take off. I'm like,
Excuse me, sir. Shut the
it
fuck
took
up.
me right back to fucking Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer. I don't
I don't
fly,
fly
coach. And then Johnny Storm just gets off the fucking plane. That's not how it works. When you're on the plane, you don't get off the fucking plane.
Yeah.
Fire marshal will kill you.
We're talking post 9/11.
or the
dude.
fire marshal, the air marshal.
We're
Sorry,
Fire Marshal Bill here.
Jim Carrey is not on this plane.
Let me show you something.
And so we cut to Chief Wiggum is sitting in the hospital. Oh no.
I'm waiting for my son.
Hobo with the briefcase walks into the room and puts the book on
On Light's chest.
on
Here you
Light's
go.
chest.
Just have this little book.
And then-
I'm just gonna set that here for you.
Exactly. And then his eyes like flutter open and he shoves it behind his pillow.
And then his
I'm
dad
so
comes in
comfy.
and tells him that he knows that he was Kira.
He's like, it was you.
Yeah, because he figures out the first kill wasn't the fucking
Brody or
SOA
whatever.
guy.
He
It
broke
was-
into it. The son broke into his vault, or safe, whatever it is, and took the newspaper clipping about the guy that killed the mom.
Yeah.
That's how he knew it was him.
Because he knew something was missing from his safe, but he just like, I thought maybe I left it somewhere. Because again, heavy drunk.
This movie needed to be like, here's the one thing that the dad had that the police didn't have.
Yeah, which this is the only time they bring it up. 2 minutes before the movie ends. 2 minutes before the gag reel.
I still say it was
I thought
behind the
this
scenes
movie-
real.
I thought well, yeah, it's but they're all laughing, and I thought this movie was over on the Ferris wheel.
Same.
It should have been.
It should have
because
been.
once they go further, then it actually makes it more frustrating the way
Yeah.
it ends.
Ugh.
So
I'm fine with the confrontation between the son and the dad. That's fine.
Yeah.
That's not my quam.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's not going to turn him in. He's like, I know it was you.
And
Because
this
like
is
he said
I
earlier,
know it was you. You broke my heart.
broke my heart, Fredo.
and this is where Light just diarrheas this
Great ass.
I love that. Just verbal diarrheas the whole end of the movie and was like,
Yeah.
I wrote
So
it.
he wrote the whole thing. He said everything that was going to happen. He's like, they meet on the Ferris wheel. Some pedophile guy or some other guy who was like a pedophile or a murderer.
He was a doctor.
Is going to be
a
there.
doctor that killed like people in a
Molested
house fire.
people.
Yeah.
No, that's the hobo with the briefcase.
No, the
Yeah.
doctor molested people while
I thought they said molest at some point.
Oh man.
while they were
So
under.
they're doubling down on molestation.
Yeah.
Those are the worst people. So you don't.
Well,
That's
they
why
are
you don't
the
feel
worst,
bad about
But
them.
sometimes they make movies.
Yeah,
He
like
does
that
start
guy
it
that
with-
made all the Jeepers Creepers movies.
if Mia does take the book from me,
Justin
then
Long.
we fall. She
Yeah.
dies on the ground.
Yeah.
I land in the water.
Yeah, exactly. So he said everything that was going to happen.
There'll be
Yeah.
a doctor there to find
Doctor
you.
The page
saves
will fall
me.
in the fire.
And puts me in a coma.
Yeah.
For 48
Hobo
hours.
grabs the book, gives me the book back for 48 hours
during
later.
the time, well, this is the big thing, is during the time that the hobo with the briefcase has it, the child raper, watches the news every night and writes down the names of murderers and stuff that
Yeah.
are on the news,
So
that they
it's
keep
still
dying.
happening.
This is like wishing for more wishes, guy. You can't write in the book that somebody writes in the book.
I mean,
God.
it's feeding the death
Hey,
god.
Death gods don't be picky, girl.
Yeah.
L has gone back to the house and he's looking through all the stuff and he
Looking for
finds
the calculus book.
and finds the page, and then we get like he's looking at a picture of Light and Mia,
And he's got this
the pen
smile on
the
his
book.
face.
Well, he looks
Oh.
conflicted.
Sorry, before this, we glanced. We didn't even talk about it, but after Elle had threatened the son, they were outside, and he goes, "Hey, sorry about all this, son." You know, and he also says, "How do you deal with the pressure?" And he says, "It's not about black and white. Sometimes it's about choosing the lesser of two evils."
Oh, yeah,
So
that's
then
when
fast
they were
forward to
getting.
now,
Okay,
where
yeah.
he's
Yeah.
telling him, and he goes,
Well, which one are you?
He's like, you told me to pick the lesser of two evils. He goes, yeah, which one are you?
Yeah.
So fun little callback to a.
And then I feel
yeah.
like that's also going on here with L, because it's like you can tell he wants to write Light's name in the book.
He starts having a
But
fucking
he's
sugar,
he's having
God,
a
yeah.
sugar high.
well, he's having a little bit of an issue because you can tell he's struggling. He's like, well, do I write his name or is what he's doing
Oh,
okay?
so he's doing like a crazy laugh, like, oh fuck, I don't know
yeah,
what to do.
he kind of giggles to himself, and then we just cut to credits, and it's
Yeah.
like, and
Before
I
we
don't,
cut
I-
to credits, Ryuk, we just hear him.
yeah.
You humans are strange creatures.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
that's right. He says yes. You humans are so interesting.
So interesting.
Yeah.
And boom.
Yeah, and
Credits.
so Ryuk is in the hospital, and he says that to Light. So we're like, okay, so is Light still in control? Is Ryuk coming to kill him? Like, we don't know. And I don't always have a problem with an ambiguous ending.
Too ambiguous.
One
for
of my
me.
favorite movies from last year.
Ambiguously gay.
One of my favorite movies from last year was a movie called Triangle of Sadness, and it has an entirely ambiguous ending.
Yeah.
But that ending ends where it's like the viewer watching this movie will decide which choice this person made, and it's like, what kind of person are you?
Is this
Oh.
setting up a sequel?
I
Is that what's
think
happening
this
here?
might have been for like possible sequel.
That's definitely not
Like,
fucking happening.
No, there's no way. This movie, I don't know about the overall, like I didn't look at Rotten Tomatoes or anything, but on Letterboxd, this movie has a 1.5.
And you'll never be able to understand or be able to look at numbers, box office numbers.
No.
Netflix doesn't release
Exactly.
viewings; they look at subscriptions.
Yeah, and they don't even, they don't talk about how many people watched anything. They don't release
Yeah, they
any
quit.
information.
They quit even saying if something was good or bad. Now you just do thumbs up or like you used to be able to rate something.
Cancel it. No matter what.
Now they
fuck it.
cancel it before you get to watch it.
Ugh,
But yeah, and then the movie ends, and then, like I said, there's,
a fucking
so they're playing, this is when they're playing,
air supply.
yeah, whatever.
And then in
Might as
between
well be
credits,
like, Mother Red, what's your price for flight?
And we
That's
get like,
Sister Christian.
I think
we
so.
do get like, and we get like a semi blooper reel, semi behind the scenes. It's like pictures of green screen stuff, pictures of whatever, but then also
People
just like
laughing.
all the actors like ha ha ha. Like, no, that is not how you end your fucking monster horror Japanese anime fucking movie. This is so stupid.
My absolute favorite part of The Ring was when it had the whole cast joking around and just
In the
hanging
credits.
out,
My favorite
eating
part of The
fucking
Ring is when the little
tacos.
dead girl is just patting people on the back.
Just like, it's all good, fam.
The best part of the movie Chucky was at the end when it showed that guy with his hand up his ass the whole time. Best fucking part. Get real. Yeah, come on.
Get bent.
God, they should have done that when they remade it. At least then I would have known it was a puppet, not a fucking CG Chucky. Fuck that.
Ugh.
But anyway, so
Junior dolls.
recommendations. Anybody here? Jack?
Go ahead. You got
No,
something to say.
I don't.
You got a noise to make.
You don't recommend it, or you don't?
I don't think I recommend it because I'd never seen the anime, so I have no dog in that fight. I feel like if I had seen the anime, I'd be much more upset. I'm not upset with the movie. I'd be upset with the movie.
Yeah.
I'd be making comparisons that aren't fair to it. But at the end of the day, we had a pretty fun first part of this movie, maybe first third, and then just dragged the rest of the way.
I agree. I was just gonna say the same thing. Like the beginning part, I was in.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god, I'm digging all these fucking kills.
Willem Dafoe's in this movie. Willem Dafoe is not having fun in this movie.
And he might have been having a great time. He only worked 14 hours.
But they're not letting him loose. You know, he's probably having a good time for himself, but he's not doing any crazy voice acting. He's got a great voice for acting.
Yeah.
So he's doing his just delivery of lines the way that he talks. I would like him to go a little bit nuts.
Yes, I think that would
Especially
be...
you're playing a fucking Japanese god of death. Have a little fun.
Well,
Do it.
especially
You said dealer's
to bring it up
choice.
again, like with the lighthouse. After watching his fucking scene, I was gonna say his scene with Robert Pattinson, but that's the whole movie. But the scene with
Which one in particular
the
did
scene,
it
the
for
scene where
you?
he cooks the lobster or whatever, and he goes on that whole rant about the god of the sea and like all this stuff, and it's like this really low angle shot, and Willem Dafoe is just, dude. After seeing that, I'm like, even as a CG character, he could have done so much more.
I'm not convinced he's acting in that. I think he's just absolutely
He's just lost his mind.
Lost his mind.
He's got a new movie out or coming out. It's like it's not really going to have a wide release. I think it's going to be like a one night thing, at like theaters here. You know, it'll be straight to whatever streaming, and it's supposed to be fucking crazy.
Okay,
it's
yeah.
it's Willem Dafoe starring. Like,
I'm for it.
yeah, I think it's called Inside.
Like Busey in Under Siege, not acting. He's just being him.
They got that on camera. Do you think I need a fucking psych eval? Nobody answer that. Leave him alone. Do not look directly at the Buse.
He never had a script.
I'm gonna have to say I don't recommend it either.
Yeah.
If you have any kind of curiosity, watch up until the FBI agents walk off the roof.
Fast forward anytime the couple are talking.
Yeah, no,
and the
fuck
light. Just
them.
fast forward that.
Yeah, I was gonna say you can't even wait until the FBI agents walk off the roof. That kill's not that good. You know what? Watch the beginning where you've got the car crash, the steak knife.
I mean, the end of the people walking off the roof, that's cool.
But
It was
you have to go
It's
for
brief.
through 25 Willem Dafoe-less minutes to get there.
Yeah.
You do.
I just realized when Atari dies, we don't see it at all.
No,
Like it shows him close his eyes and
you hear
They
gunshots
ran out of
over the
money.
phone.
yeah, they ran out of money, 100%. So I will say this though, not a recommend. So 3 not recommends.
No, all
I'm
around
not
the
mad
horn.
I watched it.
No, I mean
In the
it's
grand
fine.
scheme of the things I've
Same.
seen in my life.
if you're bored or if you're like, I don't know, if you're nursing a hangover or if
No,
you're,
not
Not
good
nursing-
enough for a hangover movie.
I mean, I had
my
a hangover today,
movies
so.
should be Brendan Fraser or adjacent. This to me is like maybe take some mushrooms.
Are we talking Bedazzled or
We'll talk Bedazzled all day.
or
Blast
like
from the Past?
yes, that's where
or
I was
one
gonna
of
go
the
from
4
there.
movies where he learns what a computer is or
Encino Man.
Mummy 1 or 2. Hey, Death Note enthusiast.
Do not watch this movie.
All right. So it's 4 all around.
yeah, so, yeah. And again, not knowing anything about the anime, you know, I can't speak to that, but I can tell you right now from watching this movie and the plot holes and the missing information in this movie, I guarantee there's a lot of stuff, plot holes are missing from the end. And of course, you know, you're turning a 19-hour thing into an hour-and-a-half thing. I can accept those
Yeah.
things. I'm a comic book fan, and I like comic book movies because I can accept changes, but you have no information.
Yep.
Like, I don't know. Fuck it. No, don't watch this movie.
Don't watch this movie. Unless you want to take mushrooms and just kind of, see what happens.
you know
Maybe
what?
get
Let's try that.
spooked. But
All of a
something
sudden
else
you start
that's...
talking to a death god.
You know what? You
Before we
don't.
leave, something else that's always just kind of weird to watch is underdeveloped people having a sex scene. I mean, we
Oh
see
my God,
this
nobody
guy in
wants
his
to see
underwear and
that.
her in her underwear, and it's like, they're at best 18. Like, I mean, we hope they have to be 18 for at least putting it on screen, but it's not sexy time.
I mean, these actors are
No.
easily in their 20s. I mean,
Yeah.
like I said, Nat Wolff was on that Naked Brothers thing, and that was like an early 2000s thing. So he was. I think he was still like prepubescent or early adolescent.
So he's
but, I
like
mean, we're
24
talking,
in this.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
then
But he just doesn't
the
look-
girl was playing a sex pot character kind of in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
I had the
But that
same
doesn't say a
problem.
lot, 'cause
I had the
Quentin
same problem
Tarantino-
with the early Stranger Things when it had homegirl Nancy and just her bra. It's like, I'm not.
Yeah.
This is not enjoyable for me.
Nope.
I can't imagine it's enjoyable for the actress. Let's find a way to shoot this without seeing that.
Yeah, I feel like the Weinstein and all of that shit people should wake up and be like, not everybody's a pedophile.
So
We don't need to see
And if
teenage
you are
girls
a
in a
pedophile,
bra.
send me a picture of your face and your name because I'm gonna put you in my book.
Boom.
yeah, my wonderful book of pedophiles, also known as Death Note.
Big
Death
book
Note.
of pedophiles.
I'll watch that movie.
Yes, that has been Death Note, directed by Adam Wingard and starring some people, including Officer Wiggum.
Also, there were some brothers, I think, named Leopold and Atticus that did something in this movie.
Yeah, no, their parents were pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
good on you, mates.
Next week's episode is a movie I have not yet watched. It was recommended by Patrick because he ran across it on Hulu. It's called Officer Down, but it's Downe, so it's the guy's name.
feel
It's
like I've heard
directed
of this.
by, I believe it's Clown from Slipknot, M. Sean Crahan.
Oh shit.
It's directed by one of the guys from Slipknot. The description of the movie is a police officer who's played by Kim Coates refuses to be stopped by a
I
little
love Kim Coates.
refuses to be stopped by a little thing like death and returns to the streets to fight crime. So it's kind of like a Maniac Cop, but like a Hulu knockoff. I don't know. It sounds
in?
pretty
Are you
entertaining.
I can't decide right now. That sounds terrible. Is Kim Coates the dude that's in Waterworld? Paper. There's paper. You ever seen things get his paper? Yeah, it's
He's
Kim
Tigger.
Coates.
It's Tigger from SOA.
He's in Waterworld, which I will watch any day of the week.
I loved Waterworld.
Okay. By the way, there's another character in that movie is named Hazmat, Sister Blister. So that'll be great. I don't know how this counts because it's a Hulu. I think it's a Hulu movie.
Hulu original.
I don't know. Maybe it came out somewhere else and Hulu picked it up. All I know is box office, $850.
Dollars.
That's a full stop. That's a full stop.
850 USD.
Wow.
So
What year did that get released, though?
2016.
Oh, so COVID's not even to blame for
No,
this
but
one.
2016 was the beginning of the end.
I Googled it to see if it had a theatrical release. It got a very limited theatrical release.
Like a theater?
It doesn't say how many screens. It says limited release on Friday, November 18th, 2016. So my birthday. Happy birthday to me. So it was theatrically released. Well, thank you guys for tuning in again to another thrilling episode. Don't watch this movie, but keep listening to us. Oh, I do want to mention, we have the merch store. Go on the website, click a link, go buy some merch.
I'm wearing my shirt now.
Ow!
This episode comes out on March 27th. On March 28th through the 30th, you can use a promo code BADMOVIES to get 30% off. So make sure you log on, check that out, and don't forget to use a promo code BADMOVIES. Go buy some shit.
Buy it, please.
Don't forget to like and follow, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. It's Bad Movies Worst People, or on Twitter, BMWP Podcast. Check out the website, badmoviesworstpeople.com. Send us an email. Give us something interesting to talk about. It's badmoviesworstpeople
Something that
Gmail.
made more than $90,000, please.
And maybe we'll read it on air. Or
Yeah,
whatever.
hey, if you guys send me any email that's halfway interesting, I'm going to read it on the air. Because I have yet to receive anything that's not a receipt. So, that's been it. Thank you, and thank you to Evasion again for our opening and closing music. Check them out on Bandcamp, on Spotify, on Facebook. They're awesome. We'll see you guys next week. I have been Derrick.
I'm Whitney, and tip your bartenders.
I've been Jack.
And good night, and go fuck yourself.